think
Nice.
with the more
Now what I can do,
that they've gone through, Secret's side, bringing in obviously
I can draw.
players from NA,
So
over here.
we can be like,
Consul is probably a more decisive choice in that
you know,
they're pushing things a little bit more. Right, we think we can take this aggro.
In the early days of 2020, Shate was known for, when he still played on was this roster.
We'll see if we can put it to use
out of spawn,
or not.
Playing Echo back in the day on a tiny little
I'm curious
boost that you could do in Spiral, but I'm wondering how Secret will fight today against G2. Lots of expectations and lots of pressure on
Milos getting
teams,
bullied is fine, dude. Cat ears.
Visas, ladies and gentlemen, from the French consulate, something Jess and I will be doing in the
so yeah, they want to try and get the French visas to go to the consulate, or to go to Paris rather, to cast in person, I guess.
Who would have thought?
I mean, I guess the plan is to get to you know, to land for invite. Speaking of consulate, so reference, I no longer play for G2 Esports, but this is my previous team. I know the players quite well. I know the strats quite well. I'll try and not be biased or anything else, but yeah. I used to play for G2 Esports. This is crazy. Coincidence, man.
Absolutely right. It's
absolutely crazy.
You know, that we've discussed, as we've said, Pengu, as much as we love him, as much as he's been a huge part of this game, we have to start focusing on the here and now.
On the Yak.
G2, that is Kayak, and he is a different player.
We don't stand Milos. We stand Milos.
He has to forge his own path, and that is exactly
Thatcher ban? Wow. Any surprises in chat? No? Ah, okay. My bad. We can see a Nomad ban. What else do we see? Hey, baby, there it is. Woo! Who would have thought? Alright, then we see either a Mira, a Maestro, or a Melusi.
Potentially wanting the option to get out of those windows and barricades, maybe.
It's the Maestro, and then I think Team Secret, they might match that and ban either the Mira or the Melusi, just to match that. Or they ban the Echo or the Valkyrie. That's possible. Let's say they ban Valkyrie. Fuck it, they ban Valkyrie. Holy shit, boys! 4 for 4! When am I hired? Huh? When am I gonna get hired for the desk in Pro League? It's actually free elo. Holy shit. Wow. I watched the game? No, I actually haven't watched the game. No cap. I have seen one round, and that was the first round. And I only saw the last like 30 seconds when they won. I have not seen this. I swear to you. I did not know what operators were banned. I had no idea.
I expect them probably like
I would tell you if I did. I just know the script. Now that I'm behind the scenes, I see the script. I get to make the script. I haven't seen this game, no. I saw 2 rounds. I saw the first round last like 30 seconds. And I think I saw a lobby attack where they planted piano. And it was like a lost round, but then Kayak is a double kill and plants. It's the only rounds I saw. I haven't seen anything else. So like, I've seen like 1 round combined and watch time, I would say, but like across 2 rounds. That's it. And I know who wins. That's about all I can say. I don't even know the score of it. I think it was either overtime or it was close overtime, but that's all I know. So Secret going basement first. This is not uncommon when Thatcher is banned, and that is also why they're running both the jammers on mute and the claws on Kaid. This makes it quite difficult for the attackers to breach. JK it doesn't, but you know, you'd hope it did. And extending out into Visa. This is actually a strat that we used to have back in T2 where we played Alibi on Kento Raketi, where you extend into tellers and you kind of just help contest Visa, because Visa is a very good opening for the attackers to get control of. It's pretty poggies. Spoilers, they won, yeah, they won. That is true. Oh, I could actually start bidding on Pro League now that I'm no longer a player, dude. We can be rich. Except that we predict wrong, maybe. Also, the addition of player cams is very, very nice. We love to see it. I kind of wish we had that earlier, but it is what it is. I'm glad to see that we did something good with the downtime that we had. So, G2, looking like they're going to go for a straight garage attack. They're going to flash drone hole, try and nade the claw, then try and breach the wall. This is our scan where the Thermite comes in very, very clutch. We get a bigger breach, and it goes in faster. Age is also great for this, but I would not recommend any banner. It's just way too slow and inefficient, especially against a Kaid. He's sneaking in the Twitch drone with massive value, dude. Absolutely crazy value. The fact that this is even allowed by Slip in the first place is actually mad. If you're going for a straight push, you call someone in to help you, you hold that drone hole, because if that Twitch drone doesn't go through, they actually can't get that breach open without taking vertical at least. So now G2 are in a position where they can go straight for side, they're gonna drone it out. You know, remember, the Maestro is banned, so there's no bubbles, and there's no Melusi or Banshees on the board, so all they got is a mirror window and no smoke either. So you can practically just... Went in AP. Went in AP. You can actually just walk in the breach right here. Can we get top-down view here? One more back. And turn. Yeah, right? So in this scenario, you can just walk in and plant default, because this mirror C4 is shootable, this mirror can't do anything, and there's no smoke in operator on the defending lineup. So you can just walk in and plant default. However, that's what the mirror sees, right? So what you actually want to do, and you run in here, and you have a second guy run in and hold the angle for the C4 if the guy pushes through, because there's no vertical to hold this line, right? That's generally speaking what you want to be doing if you're G2 Esports. You can also try and smoke and plant on the drone hole, but it's a lot riskier because if you get smoke banged by random, it's fucking over. Also, this mirror getting open is like crazy value, by the way. That's like the mirror that gives you all the information on where they're going to be planting. So, again, crazy value on Twitch. Maybe Zero helped out. I imagine he did. And here comes. The Firmat goes out. Kayak runs deep. There's no cover, but the pump... Oh, there it is. Jake with the cover. C4 probably going to come out. Going to get denied. Yeah, there it is. C4 doesn't hit, and the bump goes down. Now, in this position, the round is over. G2 wins the round. That's it. Like, you cannot come back from this no matter what you do in defense. You can try and jump out the window, you can try and retake, peek CO window, but ultimately speaking, it doesn't really matter. Once the bomb goes down on Consulate, unless you're fucking... Once the bomb goes down, no matter what bomb side, to be honest, the round is over. Unless you're like 1v5 on attack. Even then you have a chance. So again, you can't do much. There's no smoke. This is why you play smoke, by the way, in defense. If you played smoke in that scenario, you could do a lot of work with the smoke canisters, and you would get the addition of a shield to further enhance the lineup. Something that Secret didn't utilize as well is that they didn't do a whole lot with the roam game. Like, you can actually see those plant positions all the way from CEO top floor, and of course in first floor piano. And that's something that a lot of teams don't take advantage of. And that's what happens if you have Maestro band and Valkyrie band, you just don't know where the enemies are planting. So you gotta bring some bulletproofs, maybe an echo. It's not very common to actually play IQ in attack, and as you see here, Kento is 6 picking off it back onto Twitch. So once again, if you were to play Echo in this circumstance, you would get a lot of value out of it. It's very hard to fit IQ in the lineup simply because of how far stretched you are in utility. Because say you don't play Twitch here, well, you could sacrifice the Zero. I'm sure G2 has a bigger, greater plan in mind for it. And it's just a nice way of clearing utility, getting information. It's not super reliable, not super consistent, but you get 4 cameras. I'm trying to think what we call them. We call them Arguses, I think. Argus? We called them tripods, I think, before, but now we call them Argus cams. Like there's an Argus over here. That's like a Zero cam. They really can't get away with doing Step with the same kite claw. You break the ceiling to further get up into that lip. That makes it unbreakable by nades and soft breach from the drone hole. Also with the change to explosive radius, it's even harder to clear those kite claws actually. And there's like a lip of like undestroyable ceiling, so even if you go into piano, it's like really difficult to actually clear those kite claws. That's kind of where the Twitch came in super strong last round, and where the Zero could come in super strong, but not if they actually cover it. I just say Zero cam. Yeah, we have a rule that you can't call them like Zero cams, Maestro cameras, Melusis. We call them Banshees, that's Melusi. Bubbles are Maestro cameras. Claws is kite, right? You don't want to say kite claw. We do say bandit charge or battery, I guess. So there's a battery here, jammer, etc. So D2 again, Twitch drone getting a lot of value. You hate to see it. They're doing the same attack now. With how well it worked out last time, they gotta change something up. They can't just walk in the breach again. So they're rotating to do a lobby hatch rush, assuming that the entire defending side rotated to hold this direct take. They could safely assume that lobby would be semi-clear. All about timing now. Oh yeah, if they're leaving Kanto in the breach alone, this is going to be a fake.
beyond that.
Kenzo's gonna be breach alone. He's gonna bait it out, drone in, probably running in suicide for himself or pinch them. And the main push gonna come from the Visa or lobby hatch drop. And they're gonna try and use that breach to pinch the defenders and basically come from both sides. It's kind of comes down to gunfights here. And with Prano extending out into Visa, it makes it a lot harder because they're gonna have a really good crossfire once the push comes out. And it looks like with the smokes coming out, that's gonna be the warning. There it is. The 3-2-1 has been called. Sledge goes in, hatch is open, and you're dropping into a clown fiesta of crossfires. Kenzo can't really walk in because the mirror window. He does so later, but it's 2 versus 4, and like it's a little bit too late if anything. Bane comes back to yellow, but Diffuse is now on the bomb side, and at this point it's all good night. Honestly. Girls, I don't know why they don't take Capital with Zero on these attacks. He doesn't like playing Capital. Like, we never have. It doesn't fit like our playstyle. I think now with Kayak, I think that could open up a lot more Capital potential, but a lot of teams in Pro League in general don't play a lot of Capital. It just doesn't happen. It's kind of the same with like Romai. Like, Romai is super underrated, yet he's never played. Because if you have Capital here, you can get direct smokes that don't interact with ADSs. You can get fire to eliminate strong positions instead of relying on like Twitch smokes, for example, and toss them around. And that's something that you could do differently, right? Like you take like what I call like a side breaker. You take like a Ying, a Glass, a Capital, and you can just kind of go crazy. Like one Ying Candle in the middle of Garage will just create the most absurd amount of chaos ever for like little to no cost. It has so much value.
And to respond very quickly to a threat. They were alert to the danger, whether they heard that hatch break or whatever.
It's kind of where, if you're T2, if you can breach the wall like you did, and then like go top 4 and start roam clearing and take it on like methodical. That way you're kind of getting a lot of value for your money, but instead of winning for the fake, which to be honest is just like big gamble. But it's kind of nice because if you're playing the first game of the season and you start off with like a rush and a fake, it's kind of like a really nice way of playing the game. Usually the first game of the season is like you play kind of slow, you play kind of sloppy, you play kind of like scared. Pretty sure T2 was like, yo, big dick play, dude, let's fucking fake breach Garage, rush lobby down into side. They're never gonna see coming. Issues they did, like they took a bit too long. It was a classic D2 issue actually. Like you can't stagnate in that position. If you have Twitch and Thermite on the Garage breach alone, the second the Thermite charge pops off, Thermite will run from Garage to lobby, and by the time Thermite gets there, that's when you start running down and you drop. Instead, it was kind of droning and seeing and pinging and talking and is everyone ready? Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. And by that point, they realize it's not really going to be a Garage take, right? So while Thermite runs over, that's when the other guy should prep the execute. There's no hesitation, there's no downtime whatsoever. That's like the ideal situation.
10 seconds into the round, and I imagine we will see slightly slower progress this time coming out of G2. Last time we saw them absolutely rushing that Garage.
I'm still not sure what the zero's about.
Whereas this time they need to be a little bit more cautious. They need to get that top floor cleared.
It's not something that we see very often.
They're going to be a bit slower, but we see Prano down already on the Mozzie.
Classic roam clear from admin side. You don't know Prano's injured just yet, but they will momentarily. So you're going to have like copy repel, you're going to have admin repel, you're going to jump in and take the ground and extend up. Once you get to meeting, you can then breach the hatch in this case because it's reinforced. So you can say, you know what, fuck, you're gonna leave it reinforced, give up top floor again, just have a guy holding it, and then you can actually plant the lobby door. And all you gotta worry about, again, because there's no smoke on the defending lineup, is you need to worry about the C4 from the hatch below Visa stairs. We call it noob hatch. And as long as you can deny that C4 from coming through by shooting it midair, you actually get a safe plant off. There's no way for the defenders out of smoke to actually deny the plant here. There's 3 ways. You can retake top floor and use the verticals if there are any. You can smoke him and you can C4 him. But smoke's not on the board. Top floor isn't being retaken whatsoever. They actually have 2 C4s on post and mutant basement, so they're gonna do the first option. They're gonna try and C4 from the hatch and try and kill the guy planning default. So Uno's job in this case, most likely, seeing as he doesn't have diffuser, is to shoot that C4 midair as Kayak plants. Jake is holding top floor side statue, and there's no way that the defenders can actually stop him from planting in this position. I mean, sure, you can swing, the bathroom hallway, you can swing statue, but like that's being held pretty locked and loaded here. You see Kenzo's getting position, Uno's getting position, Kayak's already in position. So Alpha is being held, Jake has top floor, Kayak's gonna plant default, and and Uno is most likely going to be covering the C4 from Gumpy. You see, you set up here. So the only way is that this C4 right here lands here. Then you're dead. This C4 right here cannot go far enough. It's not humanly possible to throw a C4 at that distance. It just doesn't exist. We thought so ourselves, you know, many, many years ago, but it's not possible. So only the small hatch on the left-hand side can actually deny the default plant. And the smoke grenade from bathroom could be tossed here or further, I guess, to also deny it. But again, there's no smoke. So it's kind of rough situations for Secret again. If Smoke was playing in Mirror's position, that would be spicy. I would throw it, Saves would throw it. So here, plant comes in, Uno has the default C4, it comes out, it gets shot, and bomb goes down ISAM. How are they going to deny the plant now? Their entire strategy relies on a single C4, not even two because Pole's down here. A single C4, which is really easy to shoot in the air right now. With like for the last couple of years, it used to be difficult because the server net coding was terrible, and the bomb goes down. Nothing can stop them, and now you're in a 5 versus 5 post-plant situation on a lobby plant, and this bomb can be held from so many angles. You can wrap it down the skylight on Spiral Staircase. You can hold it from right side here where Uno is. You can retake meeting, which Ben is ready for, and he has the flank on yellow stairs in a really like absurd position, like on the fucking desk. And he gets 2 kills off it, and maybe a third, and a third comes in, and like, what are you gonna do? You can't retake top floor, we spoke about that earlier. You can't smoke this, you don't have a smoke operator. You have one C4 which doesn't go through. And the entire defense of Secret just falls on that single bullet shot from fucking Uno. It's basically just handed to D2 at this point.
I'm shocked that Secret thought that would be enough. A single
like, let's say in this case, you flank from basement with the pulse information because they had very weak Visa presence, and you retake meeting against the one guy top floor that's Sledge. You're solid. Or let's say that you run top floor with 3 guys yellow earlier in the round, and you know, one guy will die, and then the 2 other guys will take the gunfight because they were stacked on each other. They all died for nothing. There's no way they could refrag each other in that position at all. And they ran up after the bomb was planted, which is like way too late. There's just much you can do with that. What if Jaeger spawned from Spiral while Mute throws the C4? Well, Spiral is being held by a different guy. The beautiful thing about this attack is that there's 5 guys alive from D2. That means they can cover every single angle, right? As you said earlier, they have Kento covering Alpha window. They have 2 guys, so 2 and 3, covering default plant, and they have the hatch, right? Then they have 1 guy covering statue, and the last guy is Ben covering the vertical. Where is this strat weak? Visa. There's no one Visa. CEO, top Spiral, 2 main door, 1 Alpha Repel. Alpha Repel is holding the guys from pushing and swinging. Statue guys holding the swing. Uno's holding C4. Kayak's planting. Ben is top floor, most likely on the cam that's holding Visa flank and yellow flanks, hopping between them, I would assume. And once the bomb goes down, Ben goes off the cam, holds yellow, run up into CEO, and Jake falls back from top Spiral to solidify the bomb position, and everyone else evacuates out to the exterior positions. So if you double roam up the Visa stairs with the pulse and the mute, or if the pulse has like, you know, let's say Prano drops the bathroom hatch or Slepin drops the bathroom hatch, and they come with pulse up the Visa stairs and mute will still stay below to C4 because you can do off sound, then you can start picking apart the attack from D2. But you can't just do this, right? There's no reliability. And like, this is a very common attack from like every team. It's not hard to fathom either. But relying on that C4 is just not possible. If you get a kill, which is usually what people do, like they hold meeting, they consist admin, you know, they're trying to deny some drones, some information, some time. If you get a kill on any of these players on the attacking lineup, your round becomes a lot easier. Especially if you can make like a 3 versus 3. If there's only 3 attacks alive, well, 2 of them are going to be on the lobby door, and the 3rd guy has to hold alpha push, statue push, top floor push. And then it's difficult, right? Then it's really difficult. So as a defender on lobby, ideally, you want to get at least a kill, or try to get a kill or 2. And if you can't get a kill or 2, you gotta go for a flank or a retake. Or you play smoke, which Secret still isn't doing. But that's also, you know, an option. Had they played smoke that round, they could have smoked it off for 35 seconds plus, and you could have started scrambling for the last few seconds, which would have been quite nice, actually. Piano jump out and connect the swing in the same time as C4, you can't do that. First of all, you can't jump up piano because Kento's repelling there on alpha. I mean, you can run out piano, yes, but what are you gonna do after that? Right? the timing needs to be like perfect if you're to jump out piano. And remember, you don't have any information games, so you're not just gonna jump out piano. You could in hindsight, but is it consistent? Is it reliable? No, not unless you do your work, like your studies. If you study the strat from G2, and you know, let's say they play BDS next, BDS could be like, oh, I can jump out piano window and I can kill Kenzo, and then we can swing alpha. True, but that's only if that exact scenario under those exact circumstances appears once again. And that's the beauty about Siege, is that they're doing a lobby attack now again, but it's gonna play out very differently most likely. The odds of it playing out the same way is slim to none. In my 5 years of pro play, rarely does 2 rounds, you know, the same attacks, the same defenses pan out the same way. And there's a head. Oh, he doesn't see it. He doesn't see it. And I thought I was blind, dude. Hot diddly do. And we got outlines, so I'll give it to him. Am I hearing double? It's Diana's head. Oh, dude, true Diana. I take it back. You can't see it. True. It's invisible. Good point. Completely misjudged the situation. It is Diana. After all, her head is non-existent. With the lighting in the game, Hive has been excused. Did they have enough info to retake Visa? Yeah, they have Pulse. Pulse would give you the info for Visa because you can see all the way up to top floor and Coffin. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. With the Pulse in the Mutant Basement, you have enough intel to retake Visa. You do, absolutely. And they know where 4 of the players were. They just didn't know where Ben was. They knew there was one guy Alpha Propel. They knew there was 2 guys lobby door, and they knew there was 1 guy top floor. And then they can assume that Ben, or the last missing player, would be either Visa or sneaking about, let's say, yellow stairs, basement, you know, coming up banana stairs, whatever. He's like the +1. But that's why you take the pulse, and you try. If you don't try, you're gonna lose regardless, so, you know. I mean, this is what I mean by Ben. Ben is like a lurker, so Ben could be anywhere. And as I said earlier, the attack is gonna be different, the defense will be different, the outcome will be different. Now they're gonna go below with the IQ and the Ash. They have Nate and Ayana. Ayana is not really able to use them right now. I think he's top 4 bathroom. Or top 4 yellow stairs maybe. Looks like bathroom. We're gonna open the hatch. I actually like the idea of not opening this hatch, but just use a single summer charge to destroy the mirror window in bathroom at the 90 angle. Because if you open it, that means that you now need to worry about the mirror jumping down and fucking you in the ass, which you don't like doing, right? So maybe that's just nitpicky for me, but I actually like the idea of just opening it with a single charge, just so you get the line of sight. You see, you can destroy this with a single summer charge, and the hatch is closed. Then you got what you wanted, and the mirror is stuck in bathroom. Now, if you leave bathroom at any given moment, so if you leave basement, she can then drop and retake and come back up yellow stairs, and there's a flank you gotta be worried about. Something to note. Because so you see now they're leaving, and the hatch is open. So when you think about it, was opening the hatch a good idea? I mean, it's not a bad idea, but was it a good idea? You know? Also, that's a headshot. Hive is cheating. Unlucky. Probably using the D2 Jaeger skin. Only explanation. Not really sure how Kenzo died first. I didn't see it. It wasn't shown. But they basically tried to take top floor after taking basement to get that mirror window. And it just kind of fell apart. This is the difficult part about console. If you spread yourself too thin, you're trying to take basement, trying to take top floor, and then you're going to go first floor. I mean, look at the time. There's 16 seconds left. And somehow, someway, I think Kayak's fucking planting piano. He is. So Kayak rabbled in the midst of all that chaos. Sleben, with that mirror not being open, has no idea that he's planting. And again, there's no Valkyrie, and there's no Maestro, there's no Echo, there's no information on the board. Pulse in fucking lobby. So they probably don't know this is happening. Actually, did you guys catch this? I think I catched it. Let's go back one. I think I saw it. Look at mirror animation. Is that a C4? Look at her, 0. She hit the window. She C4'd right here. It landed on the mirror window, I believe. Yeah, it landed on the mirror window, and it didn't go through. Now there's 1.479 seconds left at this point. However, I actually think this C4 would have killed Kayak if it actually went through the mirror window. There's almost like 2 seconds left, you know, because he has to pick it up again. In there, he's going to be kept safe by the keys there. He's about to play a tune. There it is. For them as he steps. See there, yeah, it would have killed him if he had it in time. I generally believe that he would have killed Kayak if the C4 went through the first time. Definitely. Kayak fucking peaks alpha, gets a quick double. Ben picks up Hive on the roam. And now it's Slebin 1v3 in bathroom on a post plant. Round went from completely lost to super winnable. In fact, guaranteed win. All on the back end of a missed C4. It looked like Slebin missed C4 twice, so I'm curious if the mirror was bugged or if he just had a really hard time getting it through there. You see now you have post plant, top floor, and basement. So that's beautiful from D2 here. Ben uses one Ashtar's top floor, second Ashtar's basement to enable Uno to see. Uno also has his scanner, but it's less reliable. So now you have top floor, bomb control, basement bomb control, and I believe Kai is outside on the half wall who can also go on the rappel. You're playing all 3 floors of verticality against a single man with a post plant that is impossible to win. Beautiful post plant by G2. Absolutely beautiful. There is no way you win this. Absolutely beautiful. That's like the most impossible scenario to ever face if you're Miro. You just don't win. And even though it's overkill for G2, which it is overkill, it's necessary. Because you should never lose that 1v3. But if you just start peeking people and not playing for the post-plant position, which is a diffuse of 7 seconds, that is exactly how you might lose those unlosable rounds. So G2 playing it really well. Well, Citizens on 7 kills, looking pretty good.
There's been nothing wrong with G2's play.
Again, G2 is just picking off the IQ continuously. They were playing the Twitch and the Zero, and now Uno's picking out the Capital that we spoke about earlier, so we love to see that, the flexibility of G2. One thing to note is that, so the reason why you 6-pick off IQ is because you want to make the enemy think that you're playing IQ so that they don't start playing Echo, because Echo fucks you over massively if you're not playing the IQ. This is the 5th round. And G2 has not yet to play the IQ, but they keep 6-picking off it. Secret should at some point be like, guys, have they actually played IQ yet? And then they go, no. And then they're gonna be like, we should 6-pick into Echo because they keep 6-picking off the IQ. That's how the 6-pick phase works, right? That is not what Secret is doing. I believe they 6-picked a Rooney from Mossy, because Prano was the Mossy player, so I assume so. Which is like not the greatest 6-pick on basement, because it's not like a Rooney's a massive like wild card. Like, oh wow, they have Melusi. Or so they have a Rooney. If you were to 6-pick the Echo, however, and with no IQ being on the board for G2, they played IQ last round? They did. Fuck, dude.
Slightly different lineup this time. Instead of the Moze, Prano has bought the Arune, so they're going to be playing the laser game.
Uno played IQ last round, and he was in basement holding the bomb vertically. I still stand by my point. I still think Secret should do it. 1 round out of 5.
Got 1 on the triple wall to try and
Echo aren't invisible anymore though, doesn't matter. If you 6-pick the Echo, the attackers won't know you have Echo. Because you're not gonna be an idiot and put the Echo drone like above the drone hole the second the round starts. Right? You're not gonna do that. You're gonna hide the Echo drones far back in the bomb side, and when they execute, you drive them in like a little super soldier, and it goes up top of the ceiling and it denies the plant. And then in that moment, with like 20, 30, 40 seconds left, G2 will be like, ah, they have Echo! Fuck! Right? That's exactly what happens. Because, you know, if you don't know they have Echo until the very end, when that Echo stun comes out, you panic a little bit. You're like, fuck, we overlooked an entire, like, win condition for them. This time, they're gonna try and nade it. They fucked up the time with the ADS. Sash. There we go. Jammer gets taken out. Not sure if there was a previous kite claw or not. I didn't see. But either way, it's gone. Also worth noting, they are playing the Yak on the A's, so they have more smokes on both the Capital and the A's. I don't think this is the right placement to do. I don't think going direct here is the play. They're clearly set up for it, right? They have a Runic in the breach. They have mirror windows. They still don't have a smoke. You still don't have that. Going direct here is very, very, very tough. If you can get into piano, into lobby, and destroy that one mirror window in cafeteria vertically, that would be like insane, right? That would be so good. But if you can't do that, It's a bit more difficult. And I'm pretty sure you can get it from Alpha Repel. I don't think you got against the building to deny the majority of the position at least.
5 versus 4.
Right?
With the Capital inside, there's a real good execution opportunity.
Maybe
here,
it's too far.
Kind of
I think it lands with the wall. I'm not sure.
Thinking, you know what, fine, we can just go for an
Oh, this is perfect.
Oh,
Oh, this is perfect. Yes, the yellow ping of doom. Easy kill. And now cancel. Now we wait, right? Now we... Wait, now we execute? Wait a minute. We go? What if cancel rappels in and uses a nade to get a bit of verticality to deny these strong positions? Because we're 3v5 with a minute left. They don't play smoke, we know this. And we're rush executing with a minute and 3 seconds left. Now, it could be that they had information on Roamer, like, oh, you know, Aruni's top floor. Let's rush side, 2v5, 2v4. Keep in mind, with Kanto being nowhere in the bomb site and Kayak planting, you're actually 2 versus 4, or 2 versus 3, sorry. You know, this guy's outside yellow holding yellow stairs. You have a guy planting. You have a guy covering top floor. You only really have 2 guns active. No one else has active guns. So it's 2v2 on side and Aruni roaming right now. It's a bit rushed.
No fear on the side of
and the issue with this wall is, yes, you might, you know, smoke off these 2 mirror windows, but you only have 1 entry point in the breach. If you had an entry point, which is like the perfect idea, you have a crouch hole here, right? And then you have like a peek hole or a crouch hole here like you do now. That's perfectly fine. Then it's like a 50-50 on where you're entering, plus the bottom hand one with the circle on that is a much safer entry point than the left-hand side wall. Because yes, you smoke the mirror and then you hold left click on a pre-fire and you go, right, you die. Or maybe you smoke it and you wait a few seconds so the pre-fire comes out and then you walk in and then you're solid. The fire is good. I don't know if there's a fire on the door, but the fire on the hallway is great. Ash is yellow, that's great. Candles above, that's great. But there's now 2 people dead on the breach. Diffuses Narnia. This guy's alone, and Candles above alone. No refractability, nothing. Disaster, right? How does it play out? Ben comes down yellow. He can now protect Jake. Candles in Narnia can't do anything to help the plan come down. Who would have made that call to execute that early in that plan? It would be Unua or Kayak that made the call to go. I mean, Kayak has the smokes and Unu is the capital, right? So it's literally Unu and Kayak are the execute enablers. No one else can start the execute. The execute comes with the fire and the smoke. That's where the execute gets enabled from. So it's a mixture of Unu and Kayak pushing the button a little bit too eagerly, a little bit too early. Probably because they knew that Prano was roaming and they were going to push deep. But the thing is, it looked like G2 was going for a plant strat and not a push strat, which means that it's kind of weird that they rushed it because they had all the time in the world. If they went for a deep push and everybody ran to the breach and they were going to execute on side, that could work, but that didn't seem to be the actual plan at hand here. It seemed like they were going for a plant either on black car or drone hole.
Will do them the world of good, Draven and
so if Kanto makes a vertical hole now for the white rotate and Ben... I'm going to assume Ben dies here. He might not. And if Ben just holds the angle, Jake is actually in a position where he can't possibly plant. But this mirror on the right here is bringing a lot of pain, right?
Managing to just level things up 3-3 now.
And Ben dies.
And that's going to be Sleben finding another onto Citizen. He's
you see, this is why this rotation right here is ass. Because you can't do anything with this whatsoever. There's nothing you can do. Like, you walk in, you get mirror window. The second the smoke is gone, you have nothing to win anymore.
A great debut, to be fair. 5-3 so far, and really
it's a bit tough.
For Team Secret.
Jake has to just somehow get in by pre-firing. Cancer says, okay, we're not going to plant. I'm going to go backside. We're going to try and do something else. Jake fighting 2 mirror windows. 2v2. Again, no refractability, no crossfire. It's very hard to attack against this. It comes down to gunfights. Jake realizes that it reaches useless, which is true, but so is yellow stairs. Either outcome here is pretty monk-ass.
They've got Virtue and they've got Kanto.
If Kanto can bait this security guy and Jake runs down, that's beautiful. And it comes down to 1v1 and Kanto dies. This was actually really nice. So what happened here, right, is that Kanto starts spraying at the security wall and mirror window. Either the guy's going to play there and die, or he's going to walk away. And as he does that, Jake runs down and peeks the guy. Because he has to white swing Jake. And then this is a situation where Jake is deep in the ass and he has no cover. He has the full commit. And he does so and dies. And Kento is just like, there's no holes, there's nothing else. Like, Kento isn't playing it bad by any means, but there's just nothing else to do. And then it comes down to the gunfight here on this wall that is super fucking broken in the weirdest way possible. If this wall was cleanly shaped, maybe Kento would have won this because of vision. But I genuinely don't think Kento saw him for half that fight. But actually a really beautiful 2v2 setup by G2. Yeah, again, if that wall was cleanly shaped off, maybe. Or if they had waited for Kento to open that mirror window vertically, because that is possible in cafeteria. Instead of having 2 mirror windows looking at them, they would only have had 1. And that would have been a lot better. A lot better. Either way, it was a nice try. But a little bit of an early premature push call. Solid picks though from Ben and Kento. They found 1 on CO repel, 1 on General repel.
Frustration, I think, and you can see maybe why there was that rush attempt that came out of G2 earlier on.
Thank you, Mr. Blacks.
But my God, have they got to be frustrated with those?
I think Team Secret won't feel
Pega
too
wall?
hard done
Yeah,
to
what up,
at the
Sloppy?
minute. 2-3 on the scoreboard from
How are
their
you doing, sir?
perspective, and G2 looking very strong so far. So I think Team
Oh,
Secret
dude,
will be
this bomb
pretty
site
happy.
is like, this is the hardest bomb site to defend in the game. One of them, hardest on Consulate, and somehow it's also really hard to attack. And I can't explain it, but that's the case, okay? It's really hard to defend, and it's also hard to attack. So what you do, as defenders in this case, is that you're gonna be making holes like here, and here, and here, and here, and like probably under the windows, and you're gonna make a hole here. And this way you can throw a C4 through this hole to land on the desk, right? Because you can plant on all these elevated positions. You can even plant here, I think, or you could once at least. And then you play below with like poles. Normally you have like Meister camps or Valkyrie camps, but they're both banned. And attackers, generally you take top floor, you take Visa, and you try and do vertical back on them and cut off the angles and then try and plant. Or you can like drop the hatches and try and like create chaos and then execute. That's typically how it plays out. And it's like, again, it's hard to attack, it's hard to defend, it's a fucking nightmare. No one really knows what the fuck is going on this defense. Polls will be like this and be like, there's five guys in territories, maybe that guy's planting. Oh, he's not, that guy's, no, he's not planting, that guy's planting. And by the time you throw your C4, either the bomb is down, or you're dead, or something crazy happened every single time. Like, it never goes easy. And you play like 4 or 5 C4s, and 1, 2, 3, right? 4, 5. They have 5 C4s. So yeah, that's exactly what's going to be happening here. So G2 can either take top floor, do vertical. Now, if you look at their lineup, they don't have a whole lot of vertical available. They have the Sledge and the Sophia, which is fair. But let's say one of them could possibly die here, right? There's no backup, there's no bug, like it doesn't go that great. The Sledge will be able to do enough if he survives. Or you can like do first floor, you know, try and take basement, drop the hatches, etc. Despite the hatches being kite charged, you can actually still open them with the ace trick, where you breach the wall, you know, around the hatch. 3 breaches are enough for this bomb site. It is enough if you know where to make the holes. You literally only need like 2 or 3 beating charges if you do it correctly. But let's say you can open more. With Sledge and Sophia, you have enough, for sure, no doubt. But they're also holding this, right? And Sophia and Sledge are also probably some of the entries here. I can't right now.
Admin to kick things off with that vertical play not long after, as you also just said.
Ryan wants me to put the groceries away, but I can't either, dude. Why do we have 2 streamers in one household? What is going on? They actually get skills with G2 the second they approach. Not much danger at all. And now the vertical play begins. Also, to be fair, they have Ash. They have 3 Ash rounds. They have hella vertical. No doubt. Vertical comes in, checking for Valcams, Moisture Drones? I don't know. We got some crouch swing from Draving, hanging out. He's stuck. Yeah, it's really awkward to push this side. If you can Ash charge the top part of the Teller's walls, you can also get like a deeper line of sight into Tellers. If you use the Ash Breach, you might have done already. And you have vertical for the Visa Stairs retake.
Of the spiral stairs, there's still Prano over in the connector, so they need to be very, very aware of these two threats here. If G2 don't pay due diligence, if they don't give this sufficient attention, they might.
One C4 gone already? Yeah, I'm not sure where the Kite C4 went. I didn't see it, to be fair.
Citizen seems to be aware.
I mean, to be fair, if you have 4 more C4s, what is 1 C4 gone from that utility pocket, right? Or utility resource. Oh, Kayak. Thing is, right? So you see, that's what I'm talking about earlier. What if one guy dies? So say you walk in here as Kayak, right? First of all, Jake died. Sledge is gone. You still have nades on Iron if you need them. But what are you gonna do here? They have 3 C4s now. Pulse, Mute, Muzzy. They don't really have any information outside of the Pulse unless they capture the Muzzy drone that they put in here. But it's really difficult, especially with less than half health, to try and get a bomb down here. It's really, really difficult. As far as I know, the hatches aren't open. He could have opened one, actually. He has only one left. So he might have opened one hatch. Uno could drop, create chaos. Kai goes in, tries to plant. Regardless, it's really difficult. And no, Zulu Swing comes out, Hive takes down Kayak, bombs in Narnia. And this is like the impossible situation again. There's 2 guys top floor, fighting for the world. No one's able to refrag. Kenzo gets taken out 1v1. Now Uno comes upstairs. Remember, Diffuser is still on site. And this is basically where the round is over. You don't really come back from this, even if you get this kill meeting. I like the dance here. What an awkward gunfight. Like, look at Prano's value here. He's wasting so much time and even gets the kill into Uno. Jesus, dude. And now it's 7 seconds left. 1v3. Diffuser on site. There's only 1 C4 left, but it doesn't matter. Ben kind of baited Uno there, I feel like. Because if the guy's in meeting fighting Uno, and we know there's like, you know, posts and stuff on the board, I mean, I think it's safe to assume that. It felt like Ben was kind of like a long disc kind of dancing. Like, I want to check if Ben had a Ash charge left or anything. He has 2 left. Unless it's a spectator bug, he has 2 left in this position. Right? So we don't know what's happening yet. Now we know Muzzy's in meeting. Right, we know that because Kenzo died from there. Uno's in Visa Stairs. Ben has 2 Ash charges left. Uno has 2 stuns left. And this is what's happening. Dancing and knifing. Dancing and knifing. Ben is long disc. Holding an angle. And I mean, Muzzy is shooting back. Like, they know he's there. Still has 2 stuns. Still has 2 Ash charges. This could be a perspective bug, no? Can we not assume that? There's no way they have this left. I refuse to believe that he has 2 fucking Ash charges left. He does, according to this as well. I don't want to believe it, but I might need to. That breaks my heart. Did you have it left? I think they do as well. I mean, I shouldn't assume it's bugged, but that's so fucking disgusting, you know? If you have so much utility left to clear a guy in a soft room, I mean, even if you kill him, you're probably not going to win the round, but there are so many ways to problem solve that issue right there. Shit happens, of course, but like, those small things, it can't happen, right? Or if Ben just runs down to Baguette, goes into connector, and you get like the crossfire, you know, get the guaranteed like 3-2-1 peak refrag, like the year 2 style, year 2 season 1 quarterfinals.
Clinical G2 side so far is a great performance.
Or big. Like, just like the principle of training those like mini scenarios, because that's what they are. You know, like how to take yellow stairs on a top 4 attack. That's like a mini game. How to like clear a guy in a room with 2 guys versus 1. That's a mini game, because if you don't play it correctly, you give the guy 2 50-50 gunfights, and the guy could win them both, and therefore you lose. And if you play it really, really well, you have like a 99 to 1% chance of winning. Whereas if you do what Uno and Ben did, it's 50-50, and then it's 50-50. There's no refrag or crossfire or anything else.
that's really going to unlock this team more, I think, with more coordination and really enable these fraggers to
Nice.
fly.
That vault prop is hard these days, by the way. It's hard, in my opinion. I suck at that. It used to be really easy, but it's changed. Standard defense, pretty much setting up for a pretty neutral like meeting and app and hold. You can flex this strat both ways by rotating the shield that you have on smoke.
Citizen, you don't need to worry
Because
about
most likely, you know, they're gonna clear admin, they're gonna take top floor, and they're gonna go for a lobby execute, or they're gonna go for a garage CO yellow take and go for a piano execute. That's like the two ways that this one side plays out, right? Seems to be the latter. Seems to be that we have info everywhere from the roam game. Gonna take garage. We have the box. The box is perfect for this strat, right? D2 they brought out the IQ that we can clear a lot of stuff really like ADSs or if there were any Valkyrie cocoons, but there isn't. The bug, however, you can actually clear out the positions with ease. All you gotta do is combine the bug with a piano window presence and you can pick up a couple of free kills or at the very least guarantee piano being cleared out. We watched the Chalet game as well. I was gonna do BDS Vitality after this, my chat voted for it.
Certainly mine.
A little bit of an over-aggressive position from Jake here. As far as I can tell from my perspective, he's very, very, very alone. I say that, but... Okay, he has a guy about to enter freeway, but again, they're not really refraggable by any means a measure, right? It is good that there's two guys here. Like, having two guys going for this instead of one is a lot better, but... Again, it is a little bit desperate. I would say it's good, though. At least kill a drone and fall back, etc. Gomfi not moving at all. Kenzo gets taken out by Prano. You see Kenzo overstepping a little bit because Jake's holding such a passive angle. A little bit iffy.
It's not Prano, actually.
If Sophia had to walk, or Ian, I think it is. Yeah, if I had to walk down a little bit further, then you can enable the crossfire. And now Jake's like, later bitch. Once Kenzo dies, Jake has to fall back and respect it. You're not gonna play 1v5 in garage. There's just no way. But that's what I mean, like, was it even necessary for Kenzo and Jake to try and contest in the first place? Because they already gave them garage. If you hold the garage early, before they get in, maybe. But trying to retake it after they've taken it already? Because they had a guy in the verticals that saw him. It's a bit rough. Now, you're playing lobby, you're playing 4v5. This is kind of where all your win conditions are slipping, right? They got basement already. All they need now is one guy in C or repel. And all they gotta do then is clear out this one guy in piano. And all of a sudden, your bomb site falls apart. No Maestro, no Valkyrie, no pulse. You have no smoke grenades. You have not really much left. You have 2 C4s, but what can they do? So unless Kayak goes massive, Kayak goes massive, the round is winnable. But he has to stay massive because once he goes flaccid, it's gonna go south really quickly. The second Kayak's machine gets... This is what is Buck doing here? Why don't we take the Buck into basement? We buck the guy in piano vertically, or, you know, I mean, Comfy could even use some of those 3 Ash charges, because we know what the guy's done, a bomb. That's what the call was, right? Either Comfy has no flank drones holding him, and I don't know where Draven is. He's vibing around outside Zulu. But we're not really taking our priorities correctly here. We need to deal with this piano guy. No one's on the windows.
So it's a very interesting twist compared
to Uno hiding in CO box. He is, yes.
It's great.
Pretty strong position from Uno, as long as he stays undetected.
People seem to defend the downstairs in the basement. They just seem to defend it a little.
He's been found.
Bit harder.
Seems like Prano sneaked straight past the lineup here. Comfy comes up banana, or sorry, Visa stairs and gets Jake. Oh, sudden Ben. I was gonna say Ben's last man left, but it's not his Kayak, and Kayak's taken out as well. So Secret kind of fumbles this round massively, right? They don't really do the strat correctly. They don't utilize the Bok at all. They have 3 ass breaching charges in her pocket when the round ends. He never uses a single one. Right? They used 1 nade. Kudos to them. 2 zero cams. Kudos to them. That's it. No piano repel. Okay, fair enough. Meeting balcony jump out. Nomad's banned. Lobby run out. No one's covering. I can forgive that. 100%. But not using the soft vertical after taking garage. Like, why did you take garage then? Right? And like, Ace basically dies because of that. And there's no refrag coming out either. But yeah, Prano basically opens the round. Walks up the other stairs. Kills Uno. Kills the other guy on top floor. And the round just kind of ends.
Give that position up, but it gets to
Prano getting massive value here.
down in the basement now. Citizen, he's going to get finished off there.
I think somehow Kayak doesn't hit a buck there, which is kind of weird. Taking Garrus C4s maybe? But then you don't need to take it. If you want to stop the Garrus C4s, you buck open the wall and you go all the way back with a 1.5x and you just prone there. And the second the guy walks in from cafe door or walks in from freeway, the guy's dead. But Ash was playing inside garage the entire round, actively holding the angle and then flanking up Visa stairs. Which, yeah, you're holding the angle to the very last second, then you run up Visa stairs with the execute. But while you're in garage, why not utilize that Ash breeze to open up the bomb side? Why did we play Buck? Did we just play Buck for the sake of what if they don't go floppy and we have other plans with it? Like say they went basement, you have more vertical, top floor you have more vertical. Maybe if they go Taylor's Archives, you have more vertical. But that might just be the thing. Maybe they just play Buck every single round. So they play Nates on Iana, they play Buck instead of Sledge. And Slip and Secret also playing Zero, which is, again, not my meta understanding. I haven't seen Zero played at all. No one played Zero in scrims when we played.
Maybe that's now starting to change.
But that's something worth to note. Playing Buck, supplement nades with Iana, whereas D2 they played Sledge for the nades.
Certainly is a little bit of a change to the norm.
Top floor defense. This is the biggest nightmare of my career, personally.
Exactly.
Strategically speaking, not many ways for defenders to win without hitting some heads. Eventually, you're either gonna lose map control, aka like piano, yellow stairs, etc. Or if they go admin, you lose admin, you know, long desk, and then you lose meeting. You can't hold meeting, and you can't hold CO. So you somehow need to win this bomb side by holding the interior of baguette, connector semi, because the rappel is possible, and long desk, right? You can't hold bathroom, you can't hold yellow, you can't hold CO, you can't hold meeting, and you can't hold admin. You need to win this bomb side by playing in this circle. And maybe first floor. Or room basement, right? It's very, 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 very difficult bomb side to play.
How that gets utilized now. Up on the top floor, we've got two attacking pushers generally available to us here. One will focus.
It looks like we might just do the Pengu TikTok strat, dude.
Generally available to us.
Can I get a shield long desk? We're gonna double. Why would they reinforce off yellow then?
Far away was it to the left, far left of your map? It's now the right hand side of your map. And down
it's not the TikTok strat because they reinforce yellow. The TikTok strat, you would want to have a feet hole here, a feet hole here, and long desk shield here sees these angles. But they've made the shield position by reinforcing of the wall, but they have also reinforced off bathroom. So I'm not sure.
East or the far right of
maybe it's like a hybrid. Personally, I don't like bathroom being double reinforced because they can rappel in, but regardless, if they want to open, they'll breach it, so maybe who cares?
One of two pushers will come through either of those directions. Usually there will be an effort to control yellow stairs or an effort to control admin. And once you have that, it's about basically pushing across to the
where they spawn. And it's a CO take. You saw it. There's 5 guys spawning on CO side. It's gonna be probably a yellow stairs push with CO rappel, and probably gonna try and take yellow, and then it's gonna end up being a CO plant. We can already predetermine this based off the starting positions, unless they rotate. Typically you don't rotate on consulate because it takes such a goddamn long time. So you can either do two things. You can either take first floor first, and with first floor take yellow stairs, or you can just flash, nade, guy in yellow dies, have a guy yellow skylight out of CO rappel holding baguette crossover, and then you just walk up the yellow stairs and take it for free. There's 2 ways to do it. Right? There's 2 ways. Comfy loves the fucking basement. Holy shit. And he loves this area in the garage. They have a Rooney Gate and they have Waman Jaeger. So this is gonna try and be a hard yellow hold for D2 Esports. They're probably gonna have 3 ADSs pre-placed. Probably, or like at least 2 of them. Probably like in an area where they won't stack with the magnets. And then Uno will probably throw them, the magnets that is, after the flashbangs have cleared the ADSs. In a perfect world, yeah, you see this catches this, that catches that. Then when they come deep, you have ADSs, then we can throw another one down here to replace these 2 positions. And if you play it perfectly, the ADSs would come back up alive by the time that your mines are finished, right? In a perfect world, you probably want to put these ADSs near the window, but the issue is they can get shot from the rappel in the skylight. because you want the ADSs to get burned first because they recharge over time, whereas the whammies are single use, right? But you can't really do that. There's no way. And they have a renegade, so we gotta get at least 6 flashbangs through before any nades can do it. Do we have that? We have 3 flashbangs. We have 2 smoke grenades, 2 nades, 3 ash charges, 4. We have plenty. We have plenty. Thank God Zero has 4 projectiles. Thank fucking God. Here comes the first. It's gonna be a 3-2-1. Hive has the skylight. Hive also has the smokes. So like smokes is like the lowest priority. You wanna save those. So ideally Hive will not use them, which means he's a perfect candidate to hold the angle with his gun. Gate gets blown. Then it's gonna be like a 3-2-1. They get drawn out. He's there. Hive has the angle. Prana comes up with a nade. And now the setup comes. Flash on Bok combined with the fucking Arcus cams on Slepen. They're just gonna fucking yeet those fucking 7 projectiles in. Probably just fucking spam that shit. Prana will then throw a nade and Uno will die. If Uno gets really lucky with timing, his Mind Magnet will activate and catch the nade. But the odds of that happening is very low. It's a big gamble. It's like playing fucking roulette, dude. You see, it comes out. And it's not active yet. And then it kills him. Now it's active. Literally playing Russian roulette with your life. Now, in theory, this is not a bad idea to do. But in practice, yeah, different story. Again, in a perfect world, if these ADSs could be caught first before the whammies, even better. But they just can't. The nade bounce was perfect. Uno's walking to the wall. So remember, Hive is on the skylight. So Hive is covering this angle right here, meaning that he sees both the rotate and he sees the door if Uno were to cross over as he would interact with this line right here. So Uno is stuck. Uno could, in theory, have ran down by hogging this side of the wall. But that is unknown. You know, the second Draven or Slepen are done with their utility, they're going to hold the window angle, which Draven is right now. You could probably get past as a slight angle or a tiny angle. You may be even prone down the fucking staircase. What do I know? But, yeah, you can't stay and just gamble on the one my this kind of thing. Regardless, they spent 4 Selmas, 3, I keep calling them Selmas, 4 Arcus cams, 3 flashbangs, and 1 grenade just to get a single kill. Normally, that wouldn't be worth it, but this is constant base top floor attack, so it definitely is. This means they have full yellow control, and because Hive is on the skylight, he cannot retake yellow stairs, which means once it has been granted, it cannot be taken back, and a refrag comes in. This is actually beautiful. So Gomfi gets the kill from Ben all the way from basement. So he gets the kill through the hatch in basement all the way up when he jumps back into meeting. Ben is for like, what the fuck are you doing there, dude? That's what I would say. Why am I dying from basement? The thing is, even if it was not constant top floor, you kill one mine and get 3 days on top of that. Yeah, but a lot of maps, you would also have shields. And now you only have 1 nade left. Fair enough, you have 3 ash charges on a guy that's in basement, you know what I mean, in this case. Like, let's say it's Villa. Using that much to kill, like, 1 guy on Red Stairs and Villa, arguably worth it. But once you get past that Red Stairs guy, because some people, they bunk up on Red Stairs, right? You still have a lot of shit to deal with. And there's both the office position, and there's the long, like a 90 position, and you can't have the ash charge on both sides. So one side will only have 1 nade, and the other side will have 3 ash charges. You don't really distribute it very well in that case. Other than that, getting a kill is massive.
4 versus 3 for Secret, 60 seconds remaining. The numbers
I think it's worth in most instances, but I definitely think there are maps like Cafe and Villa where it might not be as worth.
The members of G2 currently pulled out more towards the east. You've actually got Virtue sat inside of site.
Like the only scenario in Villa on the Cafe that's worth is like 90 or like Pixel and Piano, right? Other than that, I don't think there's any position that's like, you know, 7 or 8 utilities. It's worth it.
Underneath, and Virtue tries to drop out into safety. He knew that he was cornered, and what does Secret do? We say we know you.
Did Jake sneak him into the corner real quick? Was he always there? Yeah, they know. Draven actually runs down, I assume, to block the hatch below, but there's already Prana there with a nade. And Jake has to, like, just panic drop, I guess. Being in CO box like that only works out if you don't get drone, but it's like a massive desperate play, right? Oh, they actually have the long desk shield. They do have it, but the walls are reinforced. This shield doesn't do much for you. Like, you see, if these walls were soft, the shield that Kento's sitting on denies this entire position. Because the angle you get through the feed holes here, you see all the way to the yellow window. That's how far you can see. So if these walls were all soft and there was feet level holes down here, right? This buck cannot play here. He literally has to leave. The second he comes up the staircase, he's going to be in a constant fight with a Jaeger behind a shield. The entire way through. So, yeah. Kind of tough. Not sure why they're reinforced.
Great job of remaining
I'm sure there's a reason for it, but I just can't find it. Because I look at this angle. What is Cancel going to do now? He smoked off. Now he has to fight a guy in bathroom and a guy in fucking yellow. And he has nowhere to do so. He has to leave the shield now. To fight on an exterior angle. Finds the kill on Draven. Very nice shot. But it doesn't change the outcome, right? Kark's below, but they have no info where he's planting. And he wasn't planting default, he was planting couch. That's what the smoke grenade was for. So yeah, a little bit iffy. Yeah, mine was fully fine. I mean, while mine in that position in yellow stairs, you could be like, oh, just peek yellow scout, and if you get the kill, you get the kill. That's true. But the thing is, if you peek the skylight and you don't get the kill and you die, then the enemy don't even need to start nading you. Then they just save their utility, right? So the only way you could peek the skylight is when the final flashbang comes out. But you're gonna be fully blinded, right? So even if you got the kill, you're probably still gonna die. So either you peek early and you might be the hero, but if you peek early and die, you're the villain because now they're just gonna walk up the stairs and kill 2 of my charges, 1 on Renegade, and 3 ADSs, and all it cost them was a few bullets on AK-12. That's not really worth it, right?
I think it certainly would. I mean, looking at the.
Would G2 compete to win EUL again? I think G2 is going to be top 4. I think so.
G2 will just walk over Team Secret because Secret
like G2 is going to have the same problems as when I was there, and they're going to have the same strengths as when I was there. I just think they're more refined because Kayak's a full support player and I wasn't. So if anything, they're going to be the same team with a different player, but they're still going to have the same constant pros, I think. I still think they're going to have the same playstyle, which so far that we've seen, it's been the case. I used to be the yellow player for D2 back in the day. Now it's Uno. Uno played it before I did. And then Uno, you know, he kept dying there. So I was like, I'll fucking play that. I don't mind dying. And then now Uno's back on this. And like being in this position as Uno, like you're just taking one for the team because it fucking sucks. Like I played here with smoke for a bit. So I could like smoke the scout or smoke the window. And I could I was just fucking peeking the scout I got, to be honest. That's what I was doing. You can also play Clash here, and that is going to be huge. I think Clash in this particular round against the lineup that Secret has would have been insane, dude. Because they can't kill the Clash in this position ever. They don't have Sophia. They don't have anything. Obviously, this is hindsight, but if you were to play Clash this round, I don't know how Secret would ever take yellow stairs, honestly.
Absolutely going crazy so far.
He's trying to get it back, or is he trying to... Oh, I see, I see. Land on top.
Secret that we're here previously thinking about like Patball, for example, Shate from last season. But I remember commenting to a couple
what program or hotkey can I draw like this? It's called Epic Pen. I can press Control 1, then I can start drawing. And then Control 3, I can delete it, and then Control 5, I'm back on my cursor.
Sometimes, whereas it does feel in
Epic
this game,
Pen.
we've seen Steban doing work, we've seen Gonfi in a couple of rounds stepping up as well. They are bringing to the team what maybe was missing previously, and you put that alongside someone like Prano, who
admin
has
clear,
been having a
be
field day with these grenades so far. You're starting to see the real potential of what this team could become, and like any other, as we've said,
very default take. Although I don't think anyone's covering the balcony jump right now. It's a bit sketch. Oh, Yikers, Draven. Yikers gets taken out. That's an amateur move right there. Not really sure what he was fiddling about, like flicking and looking and running about, like just rapid meeting balcony and call it a day, you know, but hey. Also, if you are during this position, you want to shoot out the glass on the connector and the alpha and piano windows, because if you don't shoot out the glass as an attacker, the defenders can silent punch the window, leaving the glass surface alive, and it won't generate sound. You won't hear it, and you die, and that's what happened. Kenzo silent punched the window. Draven died. The glass wasn't broken as far as I could tell. If you break the glass, you would hear it, or at least there's a chance you hear it.
Team Secret might just have to find another way now. Kanto on the move.
Again,
he's going to hold
G2 also not really playing to hold much here.
He's going to look to continue challenging. He certainly doesn't want to get himself caught out and may take the option to drop the hatch.
I believe the meeting has
was
it open or reinforced? I think it's open. Okay.
There we go. Finally
145 giving up meeting, giving plenty of time for Secret to execute. It is 4v5 however, so G2 might be happy with this outcome. Like guys, have a man dead, we can fall back.
It is not to say they
Now we
don't
play
have
first
enough
floor
time, but
and
what
we
it
play
is to
basement.
say
Like, this is
that
beautiful.
They need to get a wriggle on this. They need to get moving here because
Oh,
otherwise they're gonna
I've
find
seen this. I've seen this on Reddit. What the fuck, Hive? Look at this.
themselves short of time to
He
get
doesn't
a
shoot
wriggle
back.
on this. They need to get
This
moving
is
here
such a Kenzo kill, by the way.
because otherwise they're gonna find themselves short of time when it
But
comes
what was
to
Hive doing? Was he
They
talking?
need to get moving here
Oh, he
because
was.
otherwise they're gonna find themselves
Oh, he
short.
was. I think Hive has a classic Uno syndrome, I call it. Whenever Uno is explaining something, like he's not a native English speaker, his brain turns off. He can't shoot back. Uno has like Uno dies and he's like, ah, fuck, I was talking. And I was yeah.
Time when it comes to
Maybe Hive
execution,
had a
they've got
scenario of
another
Uno
problem,
syndrome
and it's a
where
problem in
he was
the
like, oh
shape of
guys, let's
Council
start working on
Ketty, who
vertical.
seems
Oh,
to
I'm
be
fucking dead,
starting to
dude.
move around this
You know,
map
because
and
like
do it
in your
well.
head, you're trying to map out the game where you are, what you have. I don't know if like Hive is like an IGL or whatever, but it looked like Hive's mouth was moving, and I think he might have just been explaining there.
Uncontested for free, not being caught.
Okay, so something to note here. I believe that the hatch, so they know there's a guy in bathroom, right? They know. I'll check this in a second, but I believe that this hatch right here is not it's not open. It's soft, but it's not open. So when the Ionet clone runs in like this and fails to check this corner, if he sees the hatch is not open, she's gonna turn around and know that Mira is still here. If the hatch was open, then the Ionet would be like, oh, it's fucking free, boys. He dropped, you know? You have a minute left. You're kind of in a hurry a little bit because you haven't breached and stuff. But the hatch not being opened, the Ionet's gonna turn around, see Uno, and now Uno's dead. Right? And we play the clip.
By drones is a
There it is. That's awkward. Now Uno is like, fuck.
kicker. Yes, well done.
You see, he swings,
You
he
found him. Now you know that
doesn't win the
someone's pushing
gunfight,
you.
getting
I think
wall
it's getting
banged,
potentially for both
and then he fully sprints past.
directions. Kicker.
If this wall was reinforced, I think sprinting past here could be like a miracle play. But with this entire wall being open,
Yes, well done. You found him. Now you know that someone's pushing you. I think he's getting pushed potentially for both.
you got a really wrong way to run. And see, the hatch, it's not open. It's not open. So if the hatch was open here, which both Kayak can do, and Uno could have done earlier, but the Kayak could have opened this earlier on in the round. As well as Uno. My neighbor is drilling right now. Nice. That would have helped. Jake, oh, we get a team kill, and then we get a trade with a C4? Sash. And Uno might even crawl all the way down. Oh, he doesn't. Nice. So Uno dying there regardless, he got a lot of value. You could argue that they got 2 kills off him, the team kill and the C4 kill. So Uno not dying for nothing, that's for sure. I'd love to see that. And now, I think Secret is having a timeout here, and they're pulling a Meepy. No, they're not. I was gonna say it's common in these situations to like take the last 30 seconds around, just discuss what went wrong, what could go better, and then, you know, then you kill yourself with like you peek and die or whatever. That's 0 damage impact though? Yeah, impact's damage has a very small radius, so impacts don't do a whole lot of damage anymore. They only really do if it's like direct impact. Why do we call it Meepy? Because Meepy used to do it. Meepy would always, back in fucking every team he's played in, if Meepy is 1v2, the guy is not trying to clutch. The guy will just fucking sit there on his ass and talk to his team, or like the team will talk, right? So we call pulling a Meepy. Because we used to scrim, like Secret or whatever, like whenever we scrimmed them, they would always AFK in like even 1v1 sometime. Man would just AFK somewhere and talk about the round and then lose.
So an absolutely fantastic one in UK.
I mean, if you're scrimming, it's probably the right thing to do because like you care more about figuring out the issues than like winning the round. But scrimming against it, like being on the other end, on the other team, it was so fucking annoying. Because it's like, oh, it's 1v2 guys. Oh, it's Meepy. Guys, just AFK. When the timer hits 0, we'll win the round. It's kind of boring. It kills like the intensity of the match, right? Well, I understand why they do it, why they did it. But yeah, we call that pulling an EP, and we do it ourselves too. Like, say that we all get destroyed, we're like, guys, pull an EP, and that just means like AFK, don't do anything, and just talk around out. I think a lot of teams do it these days. I would say Meepy is the inventor of that. I'll give him that. It did help our scrims though, of course it did. And as I said, it's not a bad thing to do. It's just no one does it. It's not really. It's kind of looked upon poorly by a lot of people, I think. Ourselves, like, we would always like make fun of you guys, like, oh, you're fucking stupid, you know? Like, play the fucking game, dude. But it is what it is, and it's probably a good thing to do. Something to note: there's a mirror in the here, right? No. This wall is soft. No. No. Am I drunk?
That is the difference. You know,
maybe there's not a mirror into there. I don't know. Maybe
yeah, bathroom's clear. Close the drone. In they go, and they've got 2 deaths, and then the round.
If there's a mirror into there, it's completely free. Like completely free.
It was great playing. It's what
and they have a no, they don't have a spare anymore. They reinforced something else. They had a spare earlier.
Drone in position. He's looking to get inside that top floor if he can, but obviously the Mozzie pests are just
basement
making
mirror
that difficult as well. We are on
Keep note that G2 is not running any information for the bomb site except for the Mozzie, which could capture a drone. Meaning that they're not gonna have any fucking clue when, how, who, or where Secret is planting if they do go for it. Now, Kenzo, do me a favor, darling, and look to your right and see if there's a mirror window on the wall, because I think there is. Surely they could spare one reinforcement. Yeah, there is a mirror window here. Okay, now look to your left, Jake. To your left. To your left. The other way. Other left. Other left. Did they reinforce the wall right before the round ended? It possibly did. If not, Secret can bamboozle it.
Worth noting, actually, that G2 have only got 2 C4s remaining. They've already used 1. Haven't killed anyone with it, of course. So their denial options.
I don't think they're gonna show. Oh, they show me here. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see it. We're gonna see. I do think it is soft, however. This is soft. That's fine. And in fact, it's kind of good because you can help hold 51 window.
There's multiple ways that you can get around those C4s, so it's going to have to be smart play from G2 to deny this, assuming that.
Oh, dude, Prano and Ben are gonna dance here. That's for sure. Thing is, Ben is so good because I feel like Ben in these positions, he fucking knows. He knows if someone is sniffing his feet, you know? Ben is really good at that. That's why he's a good lurker. Kayak dying to what exactly? To Hive? Hive is repelling copy window? No, visa window. Kayak dies here? No, dude, no. This is big because they only have 1 C4 now. And I believe he had a C4. Yeah. So Kayak has a C4 in his pocket. Ben doesn't. Ben is roaming, so fair enough. Now the only plant deny on the entire lineup of D2 is Uno, who's solo holding basement. This death right here is massive for Secret. Like, this is like round winning, or like it helps bump the win rate massively.
Just give a little bit of access.
I assume he was swinging the window earlier, either for info, maybe he wants to like run away because they lost top floor. But you need to understand, if you're playing on Visa stairs and you lose top floor, you can't run back down the stairs once the Visa window is open. You either do it earlier, or you go fucking back up the stairs and go down yellow or drop meeting hash. Like, or I mean, you just gamble it, right? It's a really high cost gamble. You see, windows open here, windows open here. We're about to lose top floor shortly.
That's just looking
so a bit iffy.
Clearer now. Prano heads up to support.
You see, like, top floor's lost. That's why he fell back.
Clearing out the top floor. Still
I say top floor is lost, but I see these are blue outlines. Is it blue because Sleb and his team is with them? Is it blue because we have 2 D2 roamers up here? Because I think we have 2 D2 roamers upstairs, dude. We do! Oh my lord, what the fuck is going on? Alright, we're still roaming, we're still holding, fair enough. Oh my god, so somehow the defenders are not admin and the attackers are opposite. Also the wall got reinforced, boys. The wall got reinforced. Happy days.
5 versus 2 as Draven gets
That's a bit rough.
This is all going towards
That's
Team
a bit
Secret
rough
right now. That is top floor control, mid floor control, and almost round control.
Last guy alive is Ben, who has no C4 and is roaming. I think Uno came up trying to help. Trying to see where Uno is. I don't see him. Yeah, Uno came up trying to help. He gets shut down instantly by Prano. On top spiral. Uno has to try and come up, to be fair. Like, he has no option. If Uno stays and Ben will die, then he's 1v5 himself, so you kind of have to. And this is the hard part about VC Tellers, dude. As I say, it's hard to defend, it's hard to attack. It's a bit messy. You can't really hold top floor. Like, it's just, the map doesn't work that way. If you hit some crazy headshots, sure. But it's rough.
They had Kanto and Virtue both waiting to play for a trade.
Playing like secure area and admin, it's hard, it's hard.
He pulls himself back a little bit, and then Kanto gets picked off by someone else as they come for the push in again. Things are not looking super clean for them right now. There is work to be done, but this is all testament to Secret and how well they are attacking.
The thing is, they've
4v5? Is it a match cancel? Is Secret sick of it? Oh, that's a fast fucking join back, dude. 30 seconds? Ah, a minute. Okay, not that fast.
This season, you do have tactical timeouts per team, so if you want to take a pause,
oh, we have tactical timeouts now? Oh my god, dude. I gave the feedback, so, you know, I retired last season, technically, this season. My final feedback to Ubisoft as a pro player was, now that we have a fucking pause button, please give us tactical timeout. And the first season after my retirement, we have it. I have never, ever in my entire life played with a pause button in Pro League or a tactical timeout in Pro League. Never. In my 5 years, I have never had that in my life. Every single pro player in the future, and now, you better be fucking grateful that someone played this game under shit circumstances of 5 years so that you guys can do it good. That's all I'm saying. You have pauses, tactical timeouts, you have skins that are banned, so you don't get bullshit by Improvise. You didn't experience Lion in his prime. You should be fucking thankful that we ate dirt for years so that you can eat on a golden platter, dude. That's all I'm saying. We had 5 years of rehost. It was nightmare fuel, man. But we did it for you guys. Paving the way forward. Pengu walked so little Jimmy could run. Dude. Nah, it was, I mean, it was kind of fun back then. You know, it wasn't very fun, like, you know, that last year after like 4 years of shit. But it was kind of fun in the beginning when we were like, you know, young, inexperienced players. Who's gonna go into Garage, boys? Is it A, gonna be Comfy? Is it B, gonna be Comfy? Or is it C, gonna be Comfy?
They might otherwise, and they can.
Who's gonna go into Garage?
Quite often, I think the Mozzie drones will, you know, be looked to be used as almost static.
It's Draven.
Additionally, get them
and Comfy. Okay.
In key locations.
I was gonna say, there's no way Comfy didn't join him, dude. There's no fucking way.
And you can just check back to them. You know, it's not.
You guys are all wrong.
Process necessarily as
it's D, Draven.
Droning each other in actively. But
oh, the timing is unreal. So Ben doesn't know that they sneak past the first line of defense. So my assumption is that Draven and Comfy are gonna find themselves 6 inches deep in the butthole of Kayak in just a moment. And Ben is gonna be like, I got the ankle into cafe, boys.
Again, that obviously it's down to each individual team as to how they choose to use
that's
them.
awkward.
Comfy has absolutely raced into
that's awkward.
Here, but shut down by
okay.
Had full
mirror window saves today. It's all good. The mirror window saves today. I don't think Comfy realized there was a mirror today because he face checked it. Pretty sure Comfy was like, oh, when he saw that. Secret kind of snaking around, taking a lot of 1v1 gunfights here and losing every single one. As mentioned, this is how the bomb site goes in favor of the defenders. Also, the cam was being watched, Slippin', no?
The power of a timeout. Look
at
the difference it's made straight away. A little bit of calm down, a little bit of composure chat.
Good
and
night.
Just flawless round in Secret after being rolled over a
couple
of rounds in a row. This is what it comes down to.
Oh no, round 12, boys. There's no more rounds of this.
Spicy.
Spoiler!
They
should put in blank rounds. Like, they should put as many rounds as Infinite Overtime takes, and they're just like black with no sound. Like, it's just like filler. It says around, you know, 13, 14, 15, 16, like all the way to max OT. And unless you take your mouse over it, you don't know the outcome. Because I only check one bar at a time, personally. Maybe I'm just weird. You know, because I click here. They should do that. I think CSGO does that, actually. If anyone's watching from the production crew, please put in filler content so that it can't be like, oh, this video is 57. 57, it's kind of hard to predict the outcome in a 57-minute video, to be fair. But yeah, if you also put in filler, perfect. That way, every single game that's uploaded is the same amount of rounds long, and the duration is the same. Like, the duration will always be about the same. And you can't guess the outcome. I like that. 14 kills on Ben, 11 on Kento, Virtue on 4, Uno 5, and Kaig on 3. You know, it's nice to see that I went from bottom franking to my replacement being bottom franking. It just means that maybe it's fucking hard to play hard support, you know? That's all that means. Secret a little bit more even here is 7, 6, 6, 4, and 11 on top of Prano, having some good impact kills.
It's there for you to use. It's
Very
a tool
nice.
that can help you. Sometimes it may have 0 impact, but it's always worth using a tool if it is there and available to you. Final sight then of
from Jaeger into Kite, 6 pick.
As you say, is going to be down in Cafeteria and Garage, and this is where
going character again.
Secret.
So what is he doing different? Well, we got the Banshees, a Circle Utility, and we got Kai to deny the wall, and we got Smoke to deny the plant, and we got 2 C4s, 3 possibly with Jake. I mean, we could even have 4, to be honest.
Bullying G2 a couple of times over.
So what goes wrong? You have everything you need for success. Good operators, good lineup. Yeah, good setup last time around. What goes wrong?
Now we see Citizen on
Why do we lose
again.
this?
Did well last time, managed to snag himself
Mirror goes security, and other one either goes bathroom or cafe. There's 2 ways to do it. It looks like it will go bathroom like previously.
We've had quite a few nice updates to the
last time I went basement day 1 with Uno baiting in bathroom.
You can see that he's got 2 pests left. The number inside of the black circle, but I believe the number underneath that black circle, a new additional number there, tells us how many drones he's actually captured and got active at any one time. So,
oh, cool. So this number 0 here is how many drones he's captured. That's fucking cool. So that the 1 here is how many pests he has in his pocket. And the 0 is how many drones he's captured or has currently active, maybe.
But then you may see it tick back down again.
That's actually pretty pog.
Attacking team
what up, Des?
Destroy them. So just an
keep watching.
Want to keep your eye
I'm watching. I'm
just
watching.
Trying to track that Mozzie and see exactly how he's doing with his utility.
I'll keep a close eye on it for sure.
We never saw Pengu facecam in Pro League. That's true. That's true. We never saw that either.
Maybe it was a bug, and that's now been corrected to show the numbers.
96 boys.
If he does catch any of those drones, otherwise it's more the deterrent factor that is kind of secondary to him. More
again, same room clear. Gonna go admin side, sweep it over, take top row, and progress downwards.
There we go. Show 96.
Secret consistently bringing the buck over Sludge and stopping the nades on the Iana. Nothing changes there. Smoke, sorry, as always on the ace. That's why he's so strong. And Sniper has played 0, I think, every single round.
I was going off the last
it's weird how that changes, because 0 went from 0% play rate to massive amounts. Early info on Melusi, that is massive. Now, if one guy can stay on that drone and we can capitalize on this information, all of a sudden we got a pinch going on. All we need is a bit of pressure from CO, which Draven has under control, and we get the run back. Beautiful, dude. I'm curious if he wallbanged us to make the whole holes already there, but I assume so. Jake is a trade. Massive. Now this is a W42 for sure. Trading out the Ash with the Melusi. Kento basically getting traded for his life. If you're T2, you're pretty happy with this. You still got the smoke, you still got a C4 on Uno, on the Mira. Oh, Uno playing it different this time. Playing really far back in bathroom on the hatch. I don't think he can actually make his way back here very comfortably, so I'm curious to see if he's just gonna dip the second pressure comes his way or not. Time is low. If Uno can just bait out, yeah, the beat is gonna drop now then. He has to. Yep, there it is. The drop down comes. Pretty good value for Secret. They get the hatch open, get the long line of sight to back of White Van. Now this round pretty much comes down to A, gunfights, because duh, obviously, and B, it really comes down to Kayak on smoke. If Kayak can deny the plant for long enough, or play around it good enough, then the round is actually in their hands. Hive not really acing the wall correctly here. I want to just point this out because Ace's Selma charges no longer go to 3, so you're going to have a vault hole here, which you don't actually want to have. You want to have it as a crouch hole. You don't want to have a vault prompt. That's so awkward. This one is great. It's like a peak hole and you can vault in deep. You can get the default cam with this safely. And you can contest both the freeway and you can contest the cafe door. But this should be a little bit further down. Make it a crouch hole and you're happy to go. Happy days. I don't see why you would ever want to vault through that, as it's your execution that comes with it. It's risky, you're stuck in animation, and it makes a sound cue as well. Not that anyone's gonna hear it, but you know, just generally speaking.
But have a look at where the G2 players are. They've all been forced.
Also, Mossy has 96 drones. Vault maybe because of the higher angles it gives to those playing up and out of the Bay Area. What? No, I don't see a win there. A vault is faster? No. So in Siege you can get a fast vault or a slow vault, and it's pretty RNG how it happens. Vaulting in general is what you don't want to do. The only scenario that the vault prompt can be better for, I wouldn't even say it's a bit of a post plant. That's the thing. I don't even think it's a bit of a post plant. I mean, sure, they gotta vault out of garage to peek you, but to be honest, with a 1 second run out timer, does it really matter whether they vault out or run out? They're dead either way, right? Maybe you can see like upper chest instead of like bottom chest if you go far back, but you also have vertical plane piano and everything else. Again, I don't think it's worth the risk versus reward.
Really,
because if you're smoking off the mirror window and this guy just pre-fires the vault hole,
back into sight, and this could be a problem
I don't know.
for them, because
it's not the end of the world by any means, but I definitely wouldn't personally do that.
And all he needs to do is move in and
whenever someone does that in my ranked games, Kayaks did. Where did Kayak die? Go back. What happened? Go back further. Where is Draven when he kills him? Draven's on vertical and Kayak's here? That's not a Kayak.
Really
that's Mira.
Into sight, and this could be a problem for them.
Where is Kayak?
The breach
Freeway, security.
is now open.
Is Kayak on a bomb in cafe? Or he must be.
Hive has the diffuser in hand, and all he needs to do is move in and.
That's Mira. I don't know where Kayak is.
To a plant spot. 20 seconds left to go. Draven finds
that's a vertical.
Kayak, and that makes G2's position even worse here. Hive is looking
when Kayak dies, this round is over. There's 13 seconds left. They haven't started planting yet. One single smoke grenade in this area right here, and the round is over. It's GG. Pipes? No, he wasn't. I don't see his dead body in Pipes either. And he has a shield still. I think he was in Cafe Bump. I think that was him playing there, but I don't know for sure. I don't know. Because there's still 2 guys in security.
Get the plant down. That's exactly.
There's no body of blood here that I can see.
Exactly what he's going
Uno's
to do. Diffuser starts to be.
I don't know where he died.
Activated. Uno with a kill.
CC rotate? You think he died on? Oh my god. Wait, did you win this? No? Uno prones, shoot toes, or does the bomb go down and then he dies? That's heartbreaking.
Uno, come in here. Is he going to be quick enough? He starts to put the damage down.
Uno! No! What? No, dude. We lose to this?
Uno, come in here. Is he going to be quick
we
enough?
Lose to this? No, dude. No. No, we would have won. That's the round. One more time in slow motion. For the boys. Coming. I got the planter, guys. 1 second. I'm gonna shoot. Fuck. And the round is over. Jesus, dude. That's rough. And he even loses. Oh, he wins the gunfight too with a shotgun. 1 health left. Draven's injured. It's 1v2. Diffuse. Oh, he can't. Cocks in the ass. The post plan is insane. That's what I mean. You see, this being... This being all the way down and a little bit further, it doesn't change anything. It's still good regardless. Anyway, you can win this as Slipin like 1v4, 1v3. It doesn't really matter. You should rarely lose this. Ben actually almost kills him. Like this peak before he dies. Oh, the railing. Look at the railing. That's on his head. That is on the center of his head. If I could zoom, I would. It's dead on. Oh.
The battle is on. Citizen takes
even here, look, it's so close. Even here.
Is around even. The battle is on. Citizen takes
It's right next to his head. Oh!
Damage, he has to hit the head, he can't. Slevin finishes it off, and Team
It's
Secret,
sad.
they take the win.
That is
They
actually a
play
heartbreaking defeat, dude. I guess the only assumption is that Kayak died on his CCTV rotate. My assumption here is that he was trying to go into cafeteria to be in a better position with the smoke grenades, I guess. And in doing so, he died. But the lobby hatch... Oh, the lobby hatch might have been opened by Slippin, I guess. Yeah. So lobby hatch is opened by Slippin, I guess. Which means that they have a deep angle into security rotate, which is not very common, but Zero bringing that Heartbreach gadget opens up those opportunities.
Is looking to move in to get the plant down. That's exactly
yeah, he must have died in the rotate.
Diffuser starts
must have.
Uno with a kill onto Prano.
That is actually so unlucky. You can smoke this from security as well. You can. But yeah, these small things, the same as when they were playing Visiteller. I think it's round 10. When Kayak died. Yeah, it's this one, I believe. Yeah. Like this scenario as well. Same scenario where Kayak is dead here. And the reason why he's dead, it's not like it's his fault. But it's like they're holding top floor. They're holding admin. And they realize that the guy repelling admin, which is Draven on Buck, he is the pincher. So he's rappelling on admin windows, not really peeking. But they have 3 guys coming from CEO, and they're gonna pinch. You know, you have Hammer, you have Anvil. You can go... So, Kayak realizes that this pinch is coming, and he's in a very unstable position on the Visa stairs. So he tries to either go into basement and run out the corner, or go across into Teller's rotate, if there is one. And he gets caught off in the crossfire, right? Or caught off in the rotate. But this death is massive for this defense.
And that might just give
it doesn't end up mattering much because C2 gets slaughtered anyway and they lose 2 guys top 1 admin, but dying there is kind of rough, and obviously dying last round was really, really rough. Overall in attacks, Kayak had a really good showing. Like Kayak played a crucial role in all the attacks, I would say, or most of them at least. Interesting. So yeah, I like what Secret is doing. I personally am a big advocate for bringing Buck on the vertical and then replacing or supplementing the nades either on Maverick or on Iana or wherever you can find them. I like bringing like a Heartbreach gadget, so that could be Fuse, could be Ying, could be Zero, because maybe you can get the lobby hatch and you can get the main breach, and you will get, I mean, the Argus cams are just a bonus, right? You can burn ADSs, you can get flank info, you can get side info, you can sap ADSs with them, you can sap Maestro bubble cams if they were alive, if they were not banned, that is. Valkyrie cams you can sap. Those are actually great, right? You can also bring Capital and do the same thing. You get smoke and fire, and you get a Heartbreach gadget. That's like on Clubhouse. Capital with Heartbreach is like really good. Fuse, I think, for this particular attack is great, but you know, obviously the Zero is more flexible in the other bomb sides by far. And both teams did it. Nice. Next up, we actually have BDS Vitality. That was the 2nd most voted by chat. Chat, Kayak is absolutely the best replacement for Pengu. Changed my mind. I don't think you're wrong. I do think that Kayak is probably the best replacement for me, for sure. He's a natural support player, replacing a flex player who played support. He came as an IGL from Kovana. The only thing he doesn't have experience. He has everything else. He has the skills, the talent, the potential. He just doesn't have experience, but that comes with time. So, yeah. Now, I didn't see this match at all. I think they're playing Clubhouse. If they are. And apparently, it was a shit show from BDS. Apparently. So, ban Villa on BDS's side. Very typical. Ban Coastline on Vitality. I say that's a good choice against BDS. You're a new established roster and they shoot all the heads. Chalet ban from BDS. No surprise. BDS doesn't play new maps. They also didn't play Theme Park for the longest time. Oregon ban from Vitality. Again, it's a strong map of BDS's. Cafe goes out. Consulate goes out. They play Clubhouse. To be honest, BDS won this banning phase massively because they're strong on Clubhouse, they're strong on Consulate, strong on Cafe, and they're strong on Oregon. BDS banning Cafe is interesting. I don't know. I think BDS is pretty strong Cafe from what I've seen, but Clubhouse is probably more favored by them anyway. So, also one thing to note: Vitality chose starting side attack, and the reasoning for that, because you think, why would you ever start attacking starting side if you choose the map? Well, the thing is, if you start on attack, then the enemy who starts defense has to ban the first attacker. So if you start defense, you ban the first attacker, which means if you start attack, you get to dictate the operator outcome. Let's say that you ban the first attacker and you're like, fuck, we ban Maverick. Then the attackers can be like, yo, we can ban the Thatcher. That means Maverick and Thatcher are banned and we know exactly how to play the game and they can prep for that. So that is why almost every single team in the world picks starting side attack on majority of maps when they can. That goes for theme park, goes for clubhouse, it goes for...
Well, an interesting point to note.
Even Oregon, I would say, it goes for.
Last draw, obviously, we've got to look at
so
the
yeah.
team that Team Vitality.
Otherwise, let's say that you start... Because so this is what happened back in the day. You would always pick defense starting side in the past. And then you would ban Hibana, and then they ban Thermite. And you're sitting there like, holy fuck, we got bamboozled, boys. And that is why, till this day, that people, they pick attacking starting side so that you get to dictate this final attacking operator ban, because the defender ban doesn't matter much. Because back in the day when there was only 2 Heartbreachers and you can ban both of them, you can do a lot of crazy shit, right? I would still pick defense as a new roster, not gonna lie. Yeah, if you're a new roster, I would say the same. You could pick defense. You can try and get as many rounds in as possible. But yeah.
Now fielding, and it doesn't include Hungry, who was the best player on the day. Highest rated.
The thing is, I personally don't believe that starting defense matters unless you're playing like Theme Park back in the day, because Theme Park was like 90% win rate on defense. Like, it was absurd. Nowadays, it's a lot closer to 50-50 than it was 90-10. But yeah.
75% on his
we went attack, but it was a Chalet, so yeah. Would you say Chalet's attack or favorite, Loki? Because that's the feeling that I got from watching you guys' game. And just playing it in ranked as well, I feel like if you know what you're doing, I feel like Chalet's attack are favorite. Yeah, big time, yeah. I mean, you're a slaughter, by the way, Doki. You did a great job, by the way. So you see, here the Maverick ban comes in, and then you can go, oh, they banned Maverick. Now we're going to ban Hibana, which we are ready for because we've been theorizing this. And the attackers or the opposing team might not be ready for it, right? So you get to dictate the exact outcome.
You can score
Happy days.
0 or you can score 1. So
only bumps out that's how to attack is bar, yeah. Interesting.
If I survive that round,
Valk ban getting more and more popular as well. Probably with the nerf of Echo, you can now ban the Valkyrie, and most teams don't really play a lot of Echo. You don't have a lot of info. And that only leaves Maestro open for information game, which most teams play, I would say. Yeah, Chalet's in Pro League now. Very pop champ.
75% of the rounds I've played in. So it's a
Vert on Chalet's unbearable. That's why the bug is strong, dude.
From a team perspective, and Hungry was extremely involved last time around for Team Vitality with a reasonably above average 75%. So we'll have to see whether the new players coming into
personally speaking, I don't expect much from Vitality on this map. New roster and everything else, and BDS is quite experienced, but apparently it goes a distance, so
lineup
exciting regardless.
To be able to fill those sorts of gaps.
New Vitality roster is Cactus, P4, Bibo, Rise, and Shinka. A mixture of Tempera and Vitality, of course. And there it is, the Echo boys, from Jaeger into Echo. Interesting. They're going basement, so not the biggest loss. Jaeger is not super crucial here. I wouldn't say that any outside of Dirt and Blue, you're not desperately in need of anything ADS-wise.
Absolute shotgun hero playing on the
Something to note, they made a rotate in the middle wall in blue. So already now we're going to be seeing something different that we're used to. Is Jaeger still broken? I don't think Jaeger's ever been broken. Nice. That was actually clean from Cactus, dude. But Lem's one step ahead here. I don't know if you guys saw that drone, but it's kind of spicy. So it looks like a roam game. Going to be extending up. Connector gets reinforced. This wall cuts the bomb site or top floor room in half. I mean, so does the window, but even more so does the wall. CC also reinforced. Now, they're bringing Muzzy and Mute, so this is what we call the quote-unquote SSG room, although that means the castle and bar. We don't have that here. Vertical still has a kitchen, meaning that they gotta deal with the top floor if they want to see that kitchen hatch getting opened. That can be done either from the hatch, it can be done from Jacuzzi. Typically, you don't push from server, you push from master Jacuzzi and you push them over towards server. And you pinch. But, and it looks like that's the same case here. Shaiko single-handedly spawning Kennel side. Gonna be opening up server maybe for pressure? No. Probably realizes it's jammed.
You've got your mute jammers, you've got reinforcements up there, and it does take away from what can be used down on the side.
P4? P into side? Okay. Yeah, here comes. So it's gonna be a master bedroom, Jacuzzi push primarily. I reckon when she's gonna run up to Shaiko and get the server wall open. Get the pinch? No pinch? No pinch. Fair enough. Pinch comes from the window. We cut the map in half. And now we gotta pick it apart.
A game of Plinko Des just drop through those hatches all the way back down.
There's a spare barbed wire in the pocket. Nice.
To the basement quickly, hopefully with their lives intact. And then BDS
Thank you, Sen. So the job for Riot here is to waste as much time as possible and kill as many drones as possible without dying. The crucial part in a perfect roam game here is if you can stay alive. You know, if you die, then the attackers kind of get what they want. They get the man advantage. So main objective should be to stay alive more so than to do damage. They've already killed 2 or 3 drones. They're slowly getting choked in. Don't know if Rice is stuck tough for now alone if he fell back to your catwalk. He did? Question mark? I think he did. So half the round is over. Nothing got taken from attackers. You lost a couple of drones. Overall, that's like a win, I would say, for defenders. I'm still a bit curious about this wall in blue being open. Normally, you reinforce the middle wall and have rotated on the left from inside church, but they have opened the middle wall with an impact grenade, meaning that if the attackers get control over Moto hatch, you can't really play in blue anymore. So also smart, you can yellow ping the drones. If they're red, it's a Mossy drone. If they're blue, it's your teammate drone. Raphael doing God's work there. Depends, probably after. Okay.
To take for a lot of those teams. So I like that with the Aruni, with the Legion, even with the Echo on side here, you do kind of deter some of those more rush-based plays.
Minute left. Looking good.
How
how many MPs do we have left? We have 3 MPs left. The only deny they have a church really is the jammers. They have impacts on Legion, but we have 1 ace Selma charge left, so you can actually get church open if you really wanted to. In other words, BDS should be loving this. Selma charge goes out on kitchen hatch instead, so not gonna be opened. That's awkward. Okay, so this is the first kind of conflict. So they don't open the kitchen hatch. They misuse the utility, or they easily get denied if they did by the Legion impacts.
Just handed one straight.
So they have what? Blue hatch open. They have dirt motor open. They might have dirt open, maybe. Now if they can brute force take church here with blue, that's gonna be huge for them. Note that back B is soft, so they need to be attentive to this, either with the vertical in kitchen, or it's gonna make a quick rush to the long hallway motor door. But it's gonna be a brute force 5v5, 10 seconds left kind of round, dude. Blue control's been achieved. Church gets shut down. Putting on the floor. Cactus gets 1. Jesus, dude. What? What? Okay, so Brick goes in and dies. Bebo kills Elimination Blue. Then P4 kills the Thermite, and he technically kills the Slash, but yeah. While that happens, Cactus kills the other guy in blue, and then long hallway or freeway is Shaiko pushing up with a flying shot on my machine gun.
Absolutely demolish them, Des. They take them apart one piece at a time.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Leave them in the dirt.
Leave them in the dirt. So if you're BDS in this situation, right? This is obviously down to preference and team and what they could have done differently, which I would have done. If you have Thatch on the board and enemies not playing, even if they are playing Bandit, actually, you don't give a fuck about that. What you can do is you can EMP Church Wall, and if you have 2 Selma charges left and you ignore the kitchen hatch, you can just EMP Selma, and even if they're Bandit, he can only trick one of them, right? They don't have impacts, and he's kitchen hatch. So if you cut the long rotate and Legion is impact tricking kitchen, you can freely breach church with 2 or 3 Selma charges, right? You can't thermite it because that will get impact tricked. Then you get church presence. You already have blue relatively for free because the rotate's open, and you have motor hatch for free because there's no kite on it, right? And then you can do a moto blue church take, but they're doing a kitchen hatch moto blue take, which is extremely far stretched because they can't assist each other. The blue guy can't help the church guy until the church guy is into the church, but getting into church needs help from the breach, which isn't there, and the kitchen guy can't drop because the church guy is holding him, and they don't have back B control because there's no vertical play. In other words, they're fucking screwed, right? Try not stretch a bit too thin here. Ultimately, they got impact tricked by Lesion, but I do judge why Kitchen Hatch was a big priority for them. Because let's say the Kitchen Hatch got open, what do? Do you just drop the hatch into like 4 guns and you die, or is there like a better outcome?
That is the dream for any roamer, because people always assume that
as
your job is to go out there and get early kills. It's not. Your job is to waste time. We spoke about this a lot back
I call him
on
Pikachu,
number
dude.
1 in the day, and said that ultimately, if you can waste time and leave them with about 30 seconds,
they demolished in Des. Feels more involved for some reason. Yeah, I like when casters approach each other. It feels more chemistry as well. Like in Terror, often says Michael, and Michael says Parker. I like that. More intimate, more chemistry filled. I also think it's great to get the casters' names out there, whether it's they're in-game and like, oh, in Terror, or if it's Parker. I think it's great to involve the casters with the audience and reference names as much as possible and involve each other. Also, there is something about everyone playing Frost on gym fucking defense in Office. I like this cheeky Frost trap. However, if you want this Frost trap to work, the rotate hole has to be further up because they're gonna see this Frost trap before vaulting through due to the nature of how far down it's shot. It's a great idea. It's a really great idea, actually. But this rotation hole is basically a running through. It's not a vault hole, right? So elevated a bit, solid. That's a bit cheesy or cheeky. It's a pock mat.
Identifying, just confirm 100% that it was in fact a Mozzie draw. Now the lighting is different on the front of the
knackered. And knackered is if you're tired, right?
But just to be certain,
wait, is knackered tired? I think it is. I saw like a slang about the UK with the leash from Liquid. Wait, a leash UK slang. I was watching this video yesterday. Yeah, this one. And he had knackered in there. Knackered. You see? That's weird, right? I just saw this. Last night. What are the odds?
And you say it like knackered.
Knackered?
And it means I'm tired.
You guys must be knackered. Knackered? Tired. Sorry.
Alright.
I just saw that. That's weird. Anyway,
and it flashed up red as
I thought the timing was kind of weird because I've never heard that word before, and then I see a video now it's mentioned in my chat. I'm like, what the fuck? You guys must be knackered. It's like, what? I'm tired, sorry. Yeah. Fucking idiot.
Actually, I want to talk about the variation of what I thought we might see coming onto this map, because again, we know that Aruni's a thing and she is being employed here. I wondered if we.
It sounds sus. Yeah, knackered. You don't want to say that on cast. People are gonna be like, what now? Knackered? It's such a scary word to say. It sounds Aussie. It does sound Aussie, 100%.
Feels like the old complaint about Clubhouse still really stays true. Is that the lineup you
look at Ryan with the mustache, el dadito. That's daddy potential right there, dude. Look at it. Man looks 35, despite only being, I think, 27. Not 35 in a bad way, more like a hot daddy way, of course. Ryan seems to be the lone man standing on the cash roam once again with the assistance of, I believe, Bibu. So it seems like Vitality has created these duos. So what they have right now is Rise and Bibu are a pair, and then P4 and Cactus seems to be a pair. Cactus and P4, they're like it seems like they're like the anchors, support players on defense so far. Shinga's like the +1. Rise and Bibu are like the front runners, the duo, the lurkers, etc. That's been the case for these first 2 rounds at least. But I'm interested to see if this like follows up, because I always think building a roster in duos and groups of people is a great way to develop a team early on, right? You're gonna play with that guy, build synergy, communication, and build groups. Sucks to be Shinga, he has no friends, but it is what it is.
So the attacking lineup is still quite rigid and fixed.
Like, Gog and I, we used to be together, Junas Kanto, Uno Kanto, like whatever. We also had groups and duos. It's a very logical way of approaching like how to attack and defend. And if you consistently have the same people play together, they also know each other, right?
A reasonably standard take for a gym and bedroom site. You move in through cash and CCTV.
Bibu and Rise are against the world here. They gotta hold off as long as possible. Again, you're not really aiming to get kills necessarily, or to like successfully hold this because this is the exterior of the site, but you are expected to at least get something out of it, you know, whether it's a nade or maybe some damage or some drones. One thing to note, they didn't destroy the hard wall on Garrett's catwalk yet, which means that they don't have the angle cut off into radio that Rise is currently peaking. I'm curious if Rise gets this kill or not.
Along with Rise, who's just...
And there it is. The wall was not breached. And you know what the worst part about this is? Let's go back 1 second. Ace has 3 Selma charges left. Right? And they're in a position where maybe the sledge should have been here and Ace should have been there, you know? Or something. And you basically gonna breach that radio wall. Rise swings and kills the Ace, and then swings further and kills the sledge, I imagine, who's in the middle of throwing a grenade. And he gets traded by Renshu at the very end.
Very nice move out.
And just like that, your exterior defense, which wasn't meant to do anything, has granted you 2 kills on Ace and the sledge, meaning the smokes and the nades are both gone. And you only lost the fucking useless Ella, who's put down her shield and her 3 element mines in the perp phase. That is crazy value. Absolutely crazy value. Normally, one thing to note, normally Shaiko plays Hibana, and it was actually quite common for teams to ban it against them, but BDS are the ones that banned Hibana themselves, putting Shaiko on an Ace, and then changing up their entry rotation. But yeah. So now Bebo's left alone. I imagine he might have run back. He has no, yeah, he did. He had no reason to stay. They still need to drone him out. They don't know that he actually left for shore. So despite him not being there, he's gonna waste another flashbang. They're gonna start face checking, using their drones, and just like that, Bebo not even being there buys them another 30 seconds plus. Beautiful, right? The power of knowledge, or lack of knowledge in this case, Bebo using to their advantage very well. Also, again, I feel like I'm watching myself play right now when I watch P4, because this is literally what I was doing when I was Frost in office. I would have Ben on Jaeger or like something else and just hold my angle, kill drones, and then I was like, Ben, once you kill the drone, just run away and bait. I'll fucking kill them all. Because I got that triple in this corner, and I got a triple in the other corner, or double in the other corner. It's cheeky as fuck. Again, imagine this vault hole was here, right? So the frost trap was more hidden. That would have been sick. I feel like... Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, he sees it. There's no way.
Not looking great for them so far.
I missed entirely where Rise came from, but to see him just walking through CCTV and gunning down 2, that's massive. That's unbelievable.
I don't know what I'm saying, like, kill. Connector? Windows? Looks like he's on the window and catches, right? Oh, office died. Wait, where from? Oh, here? Oh, did he swing it? Oh, he's... Ah, come on. You have a frost trap here. Why would you swing it?
Like, you have a drone on the... You have a drone on the doorway. Like, you must know that
you're vibing
down that direction, but he just walks into CCTV, mows down 2, and like you say, picks off 2 huge members. But BDS
big kill from Shinga.
So far. I say that
let's defuse Nani. I'm sure 1v2. Don't count him out yet. At the same time, this is very difficult. 15 seconds left. No info on the board. Has to frag out 2 people, and on the vault, he gets taken down by 4. Well, I don't think there's a frost up there, but either way, no POC mats were had. Lemsh almost took it. Almost.
BDS in the middle of the round.
Interesting.
Always difficult to move in through windows.
I wanted the vault so bad, dude. Honestly.
Expect, as you said, you know, you weren't really sure where.
Scoreboard real quick for reference: 41221 21001.
It'd come from, because you wouldn't normally get somebody swinging out of cash into CCTV to take the fight into the face of the attackers like that. Generally speaking, utility has been
mute 6 against a bandit for a cash defense. Okay. Often what teams will do when Thatcher's open, you should play the mute and the bandit and maybe even the kite, and you can do an EMP economy strat where your objective is to, you know, basically count the EMPs, because you gotta use, you know, 1 for garage, 1 for sewer breach, then you kite trick it as the 3rd, you know. The only issue with that EMP strat nowadays is that the Ace really like fucks that over, because you can't trick the Ace charges. It's not really a thing. The timing is so tight for it that it's not consistent to do. With Firma Hibana, it was a lot easier, and you could exhaust over the EMPs and just like play for the economy. But with the Ace, yeah, also, you know, when the Thatcher's open, I think putting the shield where they are right now here is kind of redundant. because you don't need, so the shield in the doorway blocks the Sophia from going off. So the Sophia stun needs a line of sight to find the target. It's like a heat-seeking missile, and this shield makes people cold, right? It can't see him, so it doesn't explode upon impact. So people can now safely trick these walls, but as long as BDS doesn't fuck up the EMP timing with the heart breach, it's not possible for Bandit to actually trick it. Whereas normally if the Thatcher was banned and the Maverick was banned, you would have to go below as BDS and Sophia or Ash or Grenade the vertical play and then breach the wall with that.
Fantastically well for BDS here,
so this shield here, I don't know, I think it's a bit of a waste. It shouldn't do anything. It shouldn't give you any utility or any usage, no value. Of course, they could fuck up the timing, anything can happen, but if that's just open, you generally don't typically want to do that.
I don't know if it was just lazy from BDS, but when they had the second kill come through for Rise,
can't Bandit trick if he gets shoots EMP batteries. The timing is too tight. If you throw one Selma charge on each wall, you cannot Bandit trick them consistently because they go off so fast. You can do it if either they fuck up the timing or you get pixel perfect timing. But generally speaking, that's not the case. Ever since Ace has come out, no one is in scrims, and as far as I've seen in Pro League, has successfully tricked it. No one typically is. Obviously, if it's Thermite, it's a different story. Obviously, Bana, different story. But the Ace, because you can throw them, and there's no like reloading mechanic or downtime mechanic, it's just so fast that you can't trick it.
Enough to keep him out of the kind of side of map and
why the pros don't open a crouch walk rotate between CC and catwalk? I can talk about that in a second if you want.
A lack of pressure coming out of BDS is probably the best way that I describe it.
If I get overview of it. So okay. So something to note here. They're not using the Thatcher here, are they? They have to because it's pre-placed first of all. So now with these being pre-placed, you can definitely summon them, but they're not. EMP comes out. I'm gonna assume that Shaiko and Raphael is on the CCTV window. Raphael is nading, Shaiko's holding him, and then the EMP's on the roof with the limb stunning. I'm gonna assume that's what happened.
And he's been shut down by Shaiko and finds the second as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Raphael and Shaiko were doing this together. And not only did they get 2 kills from the jump out and congestion, but they also get the wall open. Spicy. Bit of a complicated way of doing it. You could just EMP Selma and you're good to go. You don't need to go through the trouble of doing all of this. This has a high risk of failure and a lot of moving parts, but it works. It works. All right, so why don't people make a rotate here? That's a great question. So back in the day, you would see every team make a rotate here, that's crouch hole, and you make these holes here because then you can see all the way through to the catwalk stairs from the green box inside this room, and you can also, peek from the window, etc. Why don't people make a rotate anymore? Well, it's quite simple, really. So if you defenders can't really use this rotation hole because once the breach gets opened or the window gets opened, this rotation hole has a line of sight and there's cover there's a lack of cover, sorry, and you can't really just walk back and forth, right? So what teams have started doing the last, I would say 8 months, 6 months or so, you make it a peak hole head level. Could also make it crouch level, doesn't really matter, but head level for headshots, right? And this is because if you send in like a Thermite or a Twitch or anyone that's not an Ash, Sledge, Bok, or Sophia, they can't open this wall. You can't breach and charge it. You can't Thermite trick it. You can't Hibana pellet it. You can't shoot it open. I mean, you can if you really wanted to, right? Yeah. Basically, let's say an operator comes into catwalk. They need to now breach the hard wall to gain entry into the side. And since defenders don't use the rotate, themselves, it just means that if you got the wrong operator in catwalk, they can't do anything but jump in the window, and jumping in the window is suicide because there's a vault prompt, audible, and you're stuck in animation, and you jump straight into like a triple crossfire from defenders. So that's why. How about you make a rotate hole with a shield towards CCTV breach? That shield is gone the second this wall is open. People used to put a shield at the end of this breach. Doesn't work. 1, can clear it vertically. 2, the second the breach is open, you just instead. You can't contest this breach. You can rappel. If you couldn't rappel on this angle, on the head angle, you could easily start swinging people in server. But because you can rappel and do these head peeks, no one is really daring to swing this without information because it's such a hard fight to win. right?
Here in round number 3, just
so if repelling ever changed, maybe. But with grappling being so strong as it is, bit of a nightmare. Thank you, Quitch, for the prime sub. So now Vitality in a bit of a cluster of around here. Not sure what catches do, but got one. That is the catwalk player down. So now you're 2 versus 4. The only win position you have here is your 3 smoke grenades, but they're not going to save you much. You got a minute and 18 left on the round. No C4 to help you and assist you. And you don't really have any information operators to further help you on where they're planting or where they are. So this is kind of where BDS just takes the round and slowly but surely should choke them out. This is where you get the catwalk, you drone the side, then you have a drone vertically or a guy below, preferably a drone to just call in case of a C4, a guy flanking, and then you go in and you bait out the smoke grenades and you execute your plant. You know, you can plant on the breach or you can plant on default on the server rack. It doesn't really matter. Either should work. Right now they're putting Shaiko in construction window. They have 1 catwalk and they're gonna get 1 or 2 guys on breach. Diffuser's likely going catwalk though. It is. Bird has a half breach left, which means that, you know, now that the wall, look at this. Sophia's on the breach. She could in theory open up the wall for him. But if Sophia didn't have any charges left, they had no way to get through this wall except for a thermite charge. Thankfully, Brit has a spare. Shaiko jumping in a little bit prematurely here. Now, his crosshairs on his head. If Shaiko dies here, that opens up the round for Vitality. And Shaiko jumping in, as far as I can tell, is a really premature because the execute hasn't begun from BDS. And Shaiko dies. This is a massive, massive win for Vitality. This basically makes the round winnable, whereas before it wasn't. It's still difficult, but it's possible. No one is here to refrag yet. They're so far back on the catwalk rafters. And now, you see, they have to cross. The angle is head level. Brid gets killed on the cross. P4 gets traded by the breach. He was getting a wall bang, so he kind of had to step forward. He could have hit in the doorway and just held the angle, but either or. And now Shing is in a 1v2 that is, again, it's difficult, but it's definitely winnable. And Lemsh can open the wall still. Or won't need to. And there's like a yikes because you have 17 bullets. Oh lord. Oh lord! And it goes to 1 vs 0 again. But I mean, 0 actually wins this time. That's so unlucky. If that hole wasn't in that wall... Look, if this hole wasn't there, then Shiro might have been in a very different position. But those small holes in the wall actually fucked them. That's crazy. They didn't really establish 50-50 people seen this map before. But yeah, so Shaiko jumping in way too early here. That's like what we call like a blunder. Because again, no PDS positions. Far away in catwalk, far away in garage, server breach. Shaiko then jumps in, takes the 1v1 against P4. And it looks like Shaiko knows he's there, because he's obviously ready for the gunfight. And again, there's just no real reason to do this. You could have jumped in master window, and then approach connector afterwards, but then you have the risk of the guy crossing to the blue box, or sneaking up and take the gunfight, or whatever. But ideally, if you just wait 10-15 seconds, and as the teammates are executing, then you jump in for the flank, for the late round flank, right? With the execute. That's ideally how you want to approach it. If he had killed the Legion, none of that would have been talked about because Shaiko would have just killed him. But because Shaiko jumped in and didn't win the gunfight, all of a sudden he puts his team in a very risky position, which is why it came down to 1 vs 1 when it shouldn't have. Why not just plant there because you can cover the Thatcher planting? That's another good point, honestly. I was expecting Sophia to stay outside the breach in this scenario. Look here. In this scenario, what I would do is I would let the Thatcher take the diffuser. So, obviously, we know what's going on. We don't have any pressure. We have no stress. Lamb still has 1 Sophia left. Now, as far as I know, that picture is the one that goes boom boom. Yeah, not the concussion. So, Lemsh could, from the breach, open up the soft wall for Thatcher. Thatcher can then walk in and he can then plant. I understand why Lemsh walks in because he doesn't want the Thatcher to vault through the window. But I believe the Thatcher has to regardless because that's what he does towards the end. So what they're going to do is that... I don't know the fuck they didn't plan actually. That's a good point. You see? In has diffuser on Renshiro. And Lemch can open the wall for him. Window is smoked off. Thatcher is proning on catwalk, taking smoke damage, while Sophia is running deep into server. I don't understand, to be honest. Like, maybe you can either, one, wait for Thatcher to join you to get the 2 versus 1 on smoke. That's great. 2, you can use that 1 Sophia charge to open up the 1 catwalk so Thatcher can enter without having to vault through the window because that's nasty. 3, Sophia could have stayed all the way on the breach and just hold the crossfire. You know, but Shinka does have 2 smokes left. So I would just go for the kill here together. If you know that Shinka has smokes left, you go for the kill. If you think he's out of smokes, you go for the plant. That's like the logical conclusion, right? But yeah, like, you know, Lemch goes in, big dick, gets taken out, and Thatcher is still on the catwalk. He hasn't even vaulted in yet. And again, if this hole wasn't in the floor, in the wall, Shinka was in a really strong position to win this round for his team. But unfortunately, there's these weird ass holes here. Dare I say that they might have happened when he killed the Sophia? Is it that crazy? Guys, look, no hole? There's no way, right? He maxed the hole when he killed Sophia! Holy shit! That's actually crazy. I was gonna say, how did these holes get made? That's the hole that I think it's that or that hole. That's crazy, right? It's all interlinked. Look, and that's what kills him. That's what kills him. That's actually crazy, right? That's the one he died from. 1, 2, and 3 on the far, right? Look. Look, 1, 2, and far. He dies from the same hole he created. That's the same hole. And Lemch had such a giga brain that he knew that if he would accidentally, intentionally die in this particular position, that because of the hipfire spread of the shotgun shells, that Shinka would make a hole that Renshiro could then use to clutch afterwards, knowing that Shinka would overextend, thinking Renshiro was planting and Lemch was baiting the cover. This is why BDS is gonna win Europe next year. This is why. That's insane. Look. Flawless. Why even risk the refrag when you can just do this?
Far closer than it should have been there, Des. We saw a good
That's ridiculous, though. That is absolutely ridiculous. The fact that him killing Sophia makes a hole in the wall with the rest of the shotgun shells that then loses him the round. That's crazy. Jesus. In other words, BDS got lucky, but hey, that's crazy. That's actually insane. I'm so glad I noticed that. Because I had to do a double take. I was like, wait a minute, those holes weren't there before. Shit. I saw Hannibal, I saw. That's Poggies. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Alright, any house, any who's, basement again, and they make... Now the rotate is on the right. Before it was on the left. Like left middle, not right middle. Maybe Kaiser's just in a hurry because he's low on time and he just kind of like whips it out. Look at that. Only 4 player cams against 5. Vitality with the big dick energy. Rice looks like a daddy. You can't tell. Look at that. Look at these kids. Okay, also this guy. That's Cactus. Kid. Absolute Italian style daddy. Grandpa. 100%.
Get that diffuser down, you can go in there, you can start baiting out any smokes that are left, any utility that is there, and once that is cleared off, you can get the diffuser
Similar
down.
defense is the SHC fake roam. A lot of teams default to this. The reason why it's so strong is because you need to use a lot of time and cautious, because if you're not cautious when droning up the top floor and dealing with the mid jammers and mossy pests, you might just lose a player. So it's about a matter of like using EMPs, using soft breach, you know, it's about min-maxing and being efficient with like utility and droning. And if you're not, then either you lose too much time or you lose too many resources. By the time you get to the basement, you're not gonna have a whole lot left to work with. Now this jammer on the Jacuzzi Breach, enemies can be taken out, either from the drone hole by a soft breach, by an EMP, or from the gym window. Do note, if you peek the gym window, the server window is risky because we just saw a bullet hole there, which is pretty common. Thank you, Mr. Reno Rhino. Raphael drone from office hatch. We have P-Place drone and bar, very nice. I like that Shaiko is now going into the first floor of bar to cut off connector hatch and the bar. And he gets the info as well. So now it comes down to the 1v1 lurk game here. This is like kind of like the citizen of Ben and D2's role P4 is playing, where you're playing this fine line between overextension and survival, right? P4, if he has the spider senses, will know that they have info on him, but you can also easily assume that they don't. It seemed like he figured it out. He's gonna go deep strip now, probably to hide and waste time. That's what I would do. Assume it's clear, just go for it. Yep. So P4 is now compromised. He's a Russian spy, compromised by the American government. He has to figure out how to get out alive. He realizes there is no way out alive, but he can hide and strip and be a constant threat with the flanks. He also has a C4 he can use to actually open up the pool table wall and wreak havoc into bar, into pool table. And as long as he stays alive, he'll always be a constant issue for BDS, and that's a lot of stress on their mind. Shaiko not winning a single gunfight so far. Rise, the daddy of the team, 35 years old looking, shuts him down. Pretty interesting. Again, if Shaiko had killed Rise, this round goes in a whole other direction. But Shaiko losing that gunfight just makes it so much harder for the attackers. Now they only have a single thermite charge to work with for 3 different hatches and church walls. And that's really difficult, right? Because keep in mind that he already beat Sakusi at 1, and 2 EMPs went out. So now you have low on time, you don't have mana advantage, you don't have a lot of ways to open up the walls, and you still have this fucking annoying ass guy in strip. Now, if you're BDS, not only are you stressed, you got a lot of communication going on, like what are we gonna do? What are they doing? Reminders, strip guy, okay, only have 1 thermite charge, okay, what do we beach? Do we beach dirt? Do we beach hatches? Do we beach moto? Okay, is moto reinforced? Okay, moto, okay, is there a jammer on church? Okay, there is, problem solving this with a minute left and limited door information is difficult. If you're Elemish right now, who's the IGL of BDS, you might as well just surrender and you know, save the stress. It's very, very hard to problem solve. It's like, okay, the first thing you check when you drone down the main stairs, okay, is back B soft or hard? Okay, it's soft. Okay, is church should reinforced? It is. Okay, is there a jammer or a bandit or a kite on the wall? No. Okay, are there impact holes above the wall? Yes. Okay, we can't thermite it. That's the conclusion. Okay, kitchen hatch. Is there an impact player below? Yes, Legion has 2 impacts. Okay, we can't thermite trick the hatch either. Okay, can we breach third? Yes, we can, but taking third is a suicide. Okay, what about blue hatch? Well, we can, but again, not really favorable. If you're BDS right now, you don't really have any options except for left-clicking heads, which means that you don't have a strategical way to pull this apart. You don't even have smoke grenades because Ace is dead. You got quite literally 2 Sophia stuns, 2 grenades, and 4 guns to destroy this lineup. But it's so difficult. So what I would do, I would walk down the blue stairs, breach the moto hatch, put 1 guy in moto holding this line of sight to help assist, take the blue, and you just fucking brute force it and hope for the best. That's the best you can do right now. Or, if you're crazy, you walk down main stairs in a fucking choo-choo train, you open up this wall, and you fucking run in and take the gunfights. Either way, it's fucking difficult, okay? And then obviously, you want to breach the moto hatch before you walk down and take those fights. That's the 2 options you have. Camera's out of focus? Sorry, it's my mic arm. I'm also really bright. Can I actually change that? Can I change the exposure while I'm live? I can. I didn't know I could do that. Is that better? I can change it further. A bit darker? Bang, dude. Light. Wait, I can do more light. That cable's a piece of shit, by the way. That cable is a piece of shit. Alright, Let me just take that up 2 notches here, because I think my picture in the background is kind of messing up my auto exposure. Like that. Good. We're good. All right, we got pro for BDS, so we're a bit biased here. All right.
43 seconds left on the clock. We can see 4 members.
Anyhow, so where are we at? Well, we are currently in a situation that we are fucked. Also, we just found out, because that the reinforcements up top was put on the roam game, that leaves dirt soft. Now, I didn't realize this in my equation. Obviously, if dirt is soft and they recognize this, it's very well done for them. You can utilize dirt combined with blue push. And now you're actually in a pretty good position. Pretty buck. Remember, P4 is still roaming, and this is the thing. If P4 is roaming in strip, if you go dirt and blue, all of a sudden this strip guy that they have isn't a very big threat anymore. And that's the massive upswing for this attack decision. So very well problem solved by BDS. This is like the highest way of succeeding, I would say. The timing is right, which it isn't. They might actually have had a chance. This door being closed also doesn't help them, of course. But other than that, it was a very nice try. Oh, absolute clown fiesta, dude. Holy moly. Oh, very good discipline on Vitality here. Love seeing that they're not peeking, you know, even though they're new roster. If you can create discipline within a roster this early on, there is some fucking hope, that's for sure. That's like what Rogue is struggling with. You know, Rogue is often peeking and taking risks and therefore losing man advantage or losing people that they shouldn't really lose. So also, there's this live ranking based off round differentiation. That's fucking cool, dude. Admin, thank you for 3 months, sir. Thank you, Scoopsy.
Whether it's LM pushing himself down blue, a very crucial part of the map that you need control of.
The middle box is so tall now, yeah.
Without any information, being shot by Shinka, who was on the doorway. Like, Shinka should have killed him a long time ago. I'll hold hands up and say that. That really should have been LM's fight to win if Shinka was being
so another gym defense. Why? Because it's a frost. This can say so. In this scenario of Vitality, you could actually 6-pick into the frost if you want to hide what bomb set you're playing. Because the Aruni, Mossy, Jaeger, and Mute doesn't indicate where you're going. However, the Frost very much does. Of course, you can argue that they could 6 off the Frost and fake that they're going gym. But seeing as they won gym the way they did, I think it's safe to assume that they are going for it again. Now, that they are going gym, BDS, they have to fix the previous mistake. They need to now breach the catwalk wall. If they don't, then they haven't done the thing from last time around. And that either means that Shaika will have to rotate to be the catwalk player together with Lemsh, or it means that Brid will have to take Garrett himself.
I'm really impressed by what we're seeing so far.
What do I think they made the basement box higher? Why? To make the basement more defender-sided for kitchen attacks. Because right now when you open up the hatch as an attacker, the angles you get are kind of nasty. It shuts down the entire bomb site. Like the big window and bedroom repel on the new chalet rework and big window on penthouse and coastline. Again, those 2 windows give you too much. The kitchen hatch is similar. Also, something to note. Look at that. That is how the rotation hole should have looked like the first round around with the frost trap below it. Good job, Mr. P4. Learning from our mistakes, number 1. Great. Thank you, Dignity, for 786 in the prime step as well. Where's Fabian? Fabian, Gogan, Hungry, Revenge. They are now a full French roster combined with Shinka, the Timber Esports roster with Vitality, French roster of Rise and Beeple, and taken on Cactus, who was, I think Cactus on a different team, if not teamless, I don't know. I don't know where he came from. But full French team. Oh, he almost fell off the roof. He didn't look very scared, but I was scared for him. Now, BDS opting for a different approach. Could we see a straight Jacuzzi take? They have the Ace for it, they have the Thermite for it, it is possible. And with no active wall deny, and with no impact grenades from the likes of Vitality, it's very possible, but no, they're just gonna take it, and it seems like that is gonna be the end of it. Yeah, they're rotating over. Nothing happening here, boys. Look away. I like this cheesy fucking frost traps. I like that. That's like a different way of using frost that we don't use, for example. I say we, I mean them, because I'm not on the team anymore.
Aggression coming out.
Normally you just slap them underneath the windows and it's like predictable. Having them underneath the rotates like this, or just the mind games of the possibility is great. It's great. Or Cactus and Penta? Well, I guess they ditched the roster, yeah.
But just the fact that there is that opened up, and you know that utility has been committed there.
So what are we doing here? Right now I think we're just looking out, scouting for next decision. It looks like we could very well be coming up like main stairs with Jacuzzi Breach and Office Edge. But we don't have a very good solid like foundation to work with here. We're really playing on loose reins. We need something more solidified, like either we take server or we try and breach the bathroom wall with the 1 EMP we have left combined with the Selma charges, so that way we get a deep angle from Jacuzzi into master bedroom and it eliminates the bathroom position, right? That then enforces a Lemsh's position because you can establish a bit of a crossfire if they were to try and swing a Lemsh, whereas now you can't, right? So we need something more than just this. Or we could just press left click. It also works. Speed is good at it. Alright, spot for Rain if you want to come back. I would love to, Zach, and I appreciate the offer. But I desperately need to go to the grocery store and make dinner after this game. But I'm on tomorrow. Oh, by the way, Zach, we're playing Gobo tomorrow? Do you know? Am I playing with you? Are we? Who's playing tomorrow? I think we're playing Gobo, but I don't know who I'm playing with. Oh, we're doing some... Oh, perfect. Perfect, Zach. I'll see you there. Goga asked me? Okay, perfect. Perfect.
All the way upstairs here.
So Lem's very deep now. I don't know if there's a follow-up. There's not on him at least. Now we want to synchronize up the push together, right? Make sure that nobody goes in premature like last time around on the CCTV attack. Windows are nay because the deep angle from cash all the way into gym windows. You can't do that. P4 being all the way in garage as the side execution comes through. That is gonna cost them. With the smoke on the windows coming out and this is beautiful. Smoking off the deep connector angle, rendering people useless all the way in cash. P4 all the way in garage, meaning that Shinga is left 1 versus 5 on side. He's hiding in a corner in office. Beautiful. Like even though he can pre-fire this, like he even hit when Shiro a bit, but it's just guessing. You don't know. Execute has to come in fast though, and instead of going deep, they actually go for a plant here, which is interesting. I thought they were going to go for a deep side execution and take control. Raphael gets injured in the first shot they spoke about earlier. That's hilarious. Nice. And now the bomb is down. It's down to the post plant. It's like impossible to win again. You can go below. You can go above. You can go to the window and the QC breach. It is really hard to win this on defense. Even if you find the frags. Might remind you, Raphael still injured by the park mat. It is actually a 2v2. And Shiro playing this very passively. I think Brit is on Jacuzzi Breach as well. Main stairs, actually. Interesting. Nice. So now he's benched between 2 players. I would have liked to see Brit on the Jacuzzi Breach instead. But I mean, it's the same outcome in the end, you know? Nice. He walks up main, flanks him essentially from the same position as the Jacuzzi Breach, but
you can see there the pressure that comes in from Vitality.
That's nice. P4 being all the way in garage there. How much time was left? Like a minute? Yeah, about a minute or so. I wasn't very far off the mark. In fact, it's like a minute and 9. Being in garage here, honestly, if you're just peeking kind of quick, it makes sense. Minute and 9 left. It's not like they're pressuring side just yet. But then it goes really fast. I don't know how Rise and Cactus died. It looks like one of them died from the windows, I guess. No? No, that's from Shiro. I don't know, they died from Brit and Raphael. I'm trying to pause it on the public picture here. So one of them... Oh, they both died from the breach. Yeah, okay, they died 1 bathroom and 1 bathroom rotate? Or gym? So yeah, like, I don't know. This is a kind of a sketch position, right? Because this master window is not even open fully. You have safe zone in vault. You have safe zone on mattress. You have safe zone on the bump. And you have safe zone deep in the bathroom. Because I haven't breached the wall yet. And both players die really far forward when Shinka's in a very far backwards position with Bieber all the way in cash and P4 all the way in garage. You know, if you remove this first bubble that's very far extended and you put them like here and here, you know, all of a sudden you have a more tight-knit setup with like a 4-man crossfire, you know, assuming that Bieber wasn't smoked off. Obviously P4 a bit deep in the ass and garage, but yeah. Very far forward play. I'm not sure what prompted that decision, but I'm sure they had a reason for it.
Party taking Cactus out.
Any house?
Extended holds, roaming
Round
around the
6?
map a lot. The problem is when you do lose the one, maybe two members.
Oh, the common and period keys move back frame by frame, really?
Players to then come back onto the site.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
BDS are already in and planting because when that diffuser was going
I think
down
so.
inside a gym, where were the rest of Vitality? They were off.
I only clicked once. I don't know.
They were out up
Either way.
towards logistics, for example.
Has Maestro fallen out of the meta? Does it really seem like Vitality is not used to getting in for operators? I am a bit surprised that they're not playing Maestro, to be honest. I think it's a sense of a lot of teams are forcing their Aruni, because let's say you look at this lineup. Who would you play Maestro? I would say Aruni would, because you don't want to give up the shield on smoke and like the shotgun, you know, smoke gadget, etc. You want to have the bandit to like force the trick, unless you just recognize that, okay, BDS is going to get the wall open anyway, so you can play Echo or Maestro instead of Bandit, right? So yeah, Bandit or Rooney should be traded here. I think Lesion is fine. You want to have impacts. Jaeger is necessary, sure. On the previous round, again, Aruni. Only try out the Mossy. The Frost is great. Jaeger is great. I think the Mute is great. The Mossy just kind of plays with the Mute. That makes sense. Again, I think you would sacrifice the Aruni and you go into a Maestro if you wanted to. Although Maestro for Gym is not that great, but still the point stands. I think the Aruni is just kind of switching up people's priorities, right? Because if you didn't play Aruni, I'm pretty sure most teams would just default into a Maestro. Like, I don't see why they wouldn't. Could also play Goyo, force out 2 shields, also not a bad idea. Could also go in with a 1-9 and stack up with the Jaeger ADSs. There's a few ways to approach it. I don't think Echo is necessarily worth it. These rounds aren't going down to the wire right now anyway. It's much more frag or execution based, and Echo doesn't help a lot with that. Mira? Mira is a bit iffy on every bomb side on this map. Because not only are the positions kind of fragile, but it's also just that
big opportunity for
I don't know, the way I see it, if you play Mirror on Clubhouse, it just dictates a bit more how the attacker's gonna, I don't know, maybe. I'm not a huge fan of Mirror personally. I think it can work, but I think it's really inconsistent, and taking up a whole operator slot in an already tight roster. I would much rather see a Goyo or a Maestro. Somebody in chat said that Maestro's impacts. That is true, but unlike the Lesion, he doesn't have a lot of freedom. Especially against EMPs on the board, you want to be actively on those Maestro bubbles to turn them away from EMPs, forcing out Sophia charges or nades to kill them, right? You don't want to lose in bubble to an EMP. That's like super low value. So, sure, you have impacts on Lesion or Maestro, so that could replace the Lesion, but you don't always have the freedom to use them when you need to. That's the counter argument, I guess. Maestro is a 1-speed, which very few people like or enjoy playing. Maybe it's like they don't have a player comfortable on the operator, I don't know. I still think the Aruni might be slightly overvalued, but again, I haven't been scrimming the last month, so I might just know less than pro players. Because every team is playing Aruni. I'm sure she's great, don't get me wrong, but I do think she might also be a bit overvalued for now. She's a new operator, so she's less, common to how to deal with her and, where they put, and, you're not gonna have a Rooney in your head as an attack. You'll be like, oh, we gotta deal with a Rooney, That's a new thing. That's why a lot of teams are playing Iana as well, because Iana counters Aruni quite well, I would say. So because Aruni gets played, Iana gets played, which means less IQ, even more so than before. Which means some more Valkyrie bans are coming out, because you can't really fit IQ in your lineup. That's how I see it play out. Same thing again, we got the Sophia stuns now going below, it seems. So I like this from BDS. They're changing up how they attack every single round. I assume LM's gonna shoot the floor and then stun through the floor, because the nades on Raphael are so far away. So this should be an LM's play together with the EMPs than anything else. It is. Bang. LM's? Stun?
One thing's to sure you can't come up against BDS without a plan in mind. The plan here was to try and blow Vitality out for...
It doesn't work if you don't stun. If you don't stun, he's just going to take damage, and he's going to keep tricking.
Vitality. Bibo out from below.
Okay, we have one more left. We could go again. Go again.
Still not enough for them to be able to...
Maybe LM felt pressured and didn't want to overstay is welcome, but either you full commit or you don't commit, right?
Away from the wall and stop the impact.
Now he takes the 1v1 gunfight instead and gets the worst end of the trade here. And now that he's low on health, he's probably not gonna stay at all. So how do you breach the wall? Well, if you're on problem solve this pretty quickly, you still have EMPs. You still have concussion. You could go into blue and just stun through the floor. You have nades. You could go 51 and grenade someone. There's a few options. Either way, you're probably better off not doing this unless you get the kill. There it is. Shaiku with beautiful assistance. A bit late, but it comes through. And P4 will try and take the position back. Lemsh now can make it up to his team. You EMP it. You stun it. Now People falls away. Also barely survive. P4 trades back on a Lemsh. That's pretty nice. This is what they should have done the first time around. When you open the floor to Sophia, you gotta stun it as well afterwards. Just fucking soup and run away. Even though it might feel a bit risky or daunting, and you're better off trying to fully commit, because once you lose those thermite charges, you're in a bad position, right? Why is Bandit playing Baba instead of C4? Because if Bandit isn't playing Baba, who is? Look at the lineup. Smoke has a shield. Aruni has, like, I'm gonna guess. Oh, Aruni has Baba too, actually. I don't know why you would need 4 barbed wires. I was gonna say, if Aruni doesn't have barbed wire and you have bulletproof and Jaeger because you want to have info because Valkyrie's banned, that makes good sense. I don't know why you need 4 barbed wires. I don't know. It's a good question. I can't answer it. I would have assumed that Aruni didn't have barbed wire and therefore you take it on Bandit instead, because you don't want Bandit C4. Bandit's gonna die tricking all the time, or at least gonna be spending time there. And Jaeger and bulletproof is a lot high value compared to C4. But yeah. Back in the day, Bandit had 3 barbed wires, fun fact. That was nice because you could pick C4 on someone else, then barbed wire and Bandit, and because Bandit has 3 barbed wires, you get higher value per barbed wire out of it, or per pick of it, per set of it. That was kind of nice. Bandit barbed wire is kind of nice because you might die tricking to a nade or vertical play, so, you know, when you have barbed wire, you get raw value. Raw value is when you can put something down like an Elamine or a shield or a barbed wire in prep phase, and then when you die, the value of that gadget is still there. If you play C4, C4 has 0 raw value, meaning if you die, the C4 dies. So maybe it's like, oh, Bibu is probably gonna die on this, we're gonna play barbed wire, because then if he dies, at least he's not gonna have a C4 in the ether that can't be used, right? That could be the case. Very much could be. I think they just stacked the barbed wire 2 on Garrett stairs and 2 on red stairs, which again is not necessary, but they might as well, you know. EP comes out. This is where you're going to be nading and holding the angles, and they do so quite well. The kill comes out from Raphael, and now all of a sudden it's catwalk control. People on 1 health, P4 all the way in gym, and this is where they're slowly getting picked apart. The only win condition left is the 2 smoke grenades. You see, if Bandit has C4 in this particular instance, you as Vitality would be fucking happy. You would be. But more often than not, having barbed wire is probably better. But for this circumstance, 16 seconds left, the only win condition of is 2 smoke grenades, you wish you had a C4. I don't know if they have info on side, but if they don't, there's going to be a bit of a trouble here. Plant will come in, kills comes out from Shinka. Shinka should not be the one getting kills here. Shinka would be smoking people. Okay, so, sorry to pause it. If you take this guy, first of all, this guy's in Narnia with 6 seconds left. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, this guy should be where Shinga is, and Shinga should be where this guy is, because you can't comfortably smoke off the default plant from the red staircase, but you can comfortably smoke it off from the A-bomb side. So, smoke doesn't throw any smoke grenades. That's your win condition. If you had smoked this position off successfully, this guy is forced to either A, run back away and wait, 6 seconds, not an option, or go to the window and plant, or go to the soft wall and plant. In either outcome, you have a chance of winning. Leash is not going to be able to have any impact from below unless he somehow throws an impact from below and kills Raphael, which in this case is not possible with his health mount. Bit messy. Also, with Bandit having 1 health, I mean, why are you playing here? I mean, you might as well be the sacrificial goat on red stairs, right? Anyway. Trying to make it happen. There's no one downstairs. There's no C4, but here comes P4 from the window. He's jumped in. Oh, he wasn't below. Wait, I'm drunk. Wait, he's outside? Wait, this looks like he's in fucking bar. I thought he was in... It looks like he's in... Even now, I still think he's in bar. He looks so far away. He's in construction. Okay, he's still really far away. My point still stands. You can't do anything with this window jump out anymore because this bomb angle is solid. Back in the day, before the change to the bombs were made, you could actually see a slit through and kill the planter. But now they're solid. There's no slits anymore. This is not possible. You could argue that, oh, what if he goes in the window and one guy runs in the door? Brit has to shoot 2 guys. Well, it's fucking Brit. It doesn't matter if there's even 3 guys. He'll still kill you, right? So it doesn't really matter.
To make it happen. No one
And the outcome is as expected. The window jumping is useless. Okay, Brit gets absolutely deleted. Okay, absolutely deleted. Now, one thing to note. They did actually have a cam here. So they knew exactly where they were planting. So again, with that intel, the impact vertically, fighting Shaiko that is, or the smoke grenades or C4 has massive value because they know exactly what's going on. They know where the guy on the breach is. They know that there's a catwalk player. And they could probably even see if there's a guy covering from catwalk as well. So this bulletproof, massive value, in theory, but doesn't really get utilized at all.
BDS are going to do what we said they might be able to here, Tim. They're going to be able to bring things up to 3 and 3.
It's very close though. Very, very, very close.
Shaiko was absolutely crucial.
Again, Shaiko actually won his gunfights this round and he got 2 kills off it, Smoke and Bandit. Very round winning there. And I think Shaiko kind of needed that because of the previous rounds not going in his favor. So, happy days on that end.
They had a man on garage window trying to hold down the red.
Thank you, Happy Teddy, for the prime sub, sir.
They had one on the east breach trying to hold the crossfire, the angle onto cash door. Now, the problem was that a couple of gunfights were lost there. The important one particularly being from the top of cash stairs onto garage window. And that seriously reduced the ability for the rest of BDS to defend that plant going down.
Where's Gogan Fabian?
A heads-up move at that exact same time.
This is like the Canadian meme back in the NHD tournament, dude. Where is Canadian? Fabian is going to the International Space Station.
At the top of the stairs and then came in and
in space.
That 1v1 at the end.
Goga's now a chef.
It was close,
on the beach, cooking sausages, which he learned from Chaos back from the German culture of Berlin. And why did Penta drop Pengu? Yeah, that's a... They didn't actually. We got bought out by a bigger company, dude. We got acquired. So, fun story. Back when we were at Penta Sports, we were told there's a big organization interested in buying you. But they didn't say who. I guess they couldn't. Because, like, if it didn't work out, it would be leaked that G2 was interested. So they said, you can only join this org if you accept joining them before knowing who they are. So we sat there, me, Fab, the guys, and we're like, okay, we might say yes to joining an org. We don't know who they are. All we knew is that big org was going to buy us out of Penta and join that org. It's a tier 1 organization. We don't know who they are. And we were like, I guess we say yes, because it could be 100 Thieves, could be TSM, it could be so many orgs. And we said, I think we thought it was 100 Thieves back then, because 100 Thieves was up and coming, they started their branding and stuff, and then branding out. Anyways, T2 we're like, holy shit, dude, Poggies. We had a meeting with Carlos, really early on. And yeah, we became T2 Esports. We had no idea. All we knew, we were afraid, we looked up every single tier 1 org, and we're like, is there any tier 1 org we don't want to join? Like, could it be bad for us? But no. And the funny thing is, the owner of NIP predicted that we would join D2 before it happened. But not the way you think he did. We had a meeting with 100 NIP, and they gave us an offer that wasn't great. And we basically told them that teams in North America, they make, this much money. And the guy was like, that's bullshit. I know how much teams make. I don't believe you. You're lying to me. And he said at the end of the call, I hope you join a tier 2 org like G2 one day. And you'll realize how big of an opportunity you missed by joining us. Or by not joining us or something like that. And then a year later or some shit, we actually joined fucking G2. So this was before NIP acquired a Latin team. But the guy literally was like, yeah, I hope you join a tier 2 org like G2 one day. I was like, God damn it, dude. What do you mean? Yeah. NIP went to every single org, like every single team in Europe and North America, and they gave us like the lowest salary ever, and we all said no. Like, no joke. I think Sisu spoke to NIP. We spoke to, like, almost every team spoke to NIP, and they all declined the offer because it was like really lowballing. We're like, why do we want to get less salary? Like, we got offered less salary to join NIP. Like, let's say we're paid 2K in Penta. They offered us 1.5K to join NIP. And we're like, wait, why are we downgrading 500 euros a month to join you? You know, like, we're like, why are we downgrading, like, our salary? Shouldn't they go up if you're a bigger org? And we're like, we're not fucking, no, fuck you, dude. We're not sacrificing money to join you. That's pretty much how it went. So we were mad, they were mad, everyone was fucking pissed, dude. And they said like the famous like, we hope you join G2 some like shit tier 2 org. And then we joined G2 esports. Okay, listen, we joined G2. Okay, and our first event is Paris Major. Do you know we play at Paris Major? We play NIP at Paris Major. And we beat NIP at Paris Major. Isn't that funny? Everything fucking panned out. Look, first event at G2 Esports, we play NIP. And we beat their ass. I think we fucking destroyed their ass. Let me check before I talk shit.
Engagement inside of the lobby.
I already won the first map. We're so fucking fast.
What's needed?
Okay. 5-0. We win 6-0, okay? 6-0.
And he's looking to fight off this box.
Real quick,
got the pistol out.
I beat NIP 1v1 against PZD to make it 6-0. I was like, fuck you, NIP CEO. It's like, fuck you. You know? That's the first nail in the coffin.
He's got the pistol out.
We're like, map 1, baby.
The rifle. He will win the round. G2 take.
Look at that. I was like, woo.
Has the rifle. He will win the round. G2
literally like that.
To take it 6-0.
And then it doesn't even go 3 maps. It doesn't even go 3 maps, dude. Look at this.
The 3-piece.
Look at this. Coastline.
Opened. This is really weird. And the fire onto the drone from PZD will give away his.
And I think this is me on the hatch. And yeah.
Makazi, last man left.
Yeah, I remember this round. I drop and I.
ACOG, he can take a long-range engagement, but Diffuser about to hit the quarter mark.
I drop and Jonas peaks.
And there's Jonas finishing things off 12.
So yeah, I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny that we're told like to fuck off and they hope we join G2. We joined G2 at Paris Major and we slapped them home. I remember we all considered tweeting out like at NIP like ha 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 or something like that. But we didn't do it. We had respect. But we actually, I think we spoke about like we should fucking meme these guys on Twitter because they told us to like, you know. I thought it was funny. I don't know. I remember that like right now. Anyway, I don't know how we got there actually, but we got there.
You're going to lose the round.
Whereas Jonas now, he's retired. He's like streaming. He does like sim racing. He streams Apex sometimes.
Is to get some control
of
one of the other of the 3 locations in total. So you've got that church wall main stairs down at the bottom of there. That's an important angle to push top.
What do I think of Twitch drops, and do I think it'll bring long-term players back? I don't think long-term players give a fuck about Twitch drops. Let me ask you this thing: if you work for a company, let's say you work for a leather worker, you make leather lingerie for like BDSM shit, right? Let's say you work for a leather working BDSM company for 10 years, right? And you leave the company like, dude, I don't like making BDSM lingerie anymore out of leather. I don't like it anymore. You leave, you join McDonald's, you like it better there. They make burgers, you like burgers, everyone's happy, right? Then the laundry BDSM leather company comes back. You know what they say? They say if you go into our store, we'll give you 1 piece of leather scrap for every 4 hours you work. And there might be a duplicate, like an identical leather scrap in each of those 4, or each of those you get every 4 hours. So you get 1 piece of leather every 4 hours that has a chance of being the same piece as the previous piece. You know what you say? Fuck him. fuck him. No, I don't think anyone who quit Siege 4 years ago is gonna think, oh my god, Twitch drops. I can get a skin every 4 hours. I can watch it stream online. I'm gonna download the game. I'm gonna spend money. I'm gonna grind ranked. I'm gonna join a team. I'm gonna... Fuck no. Ain't nobody gonna do that. Ain't nobody gonna come back after quitting the game for obvious reasons of issues because of Twitch drops. That has duplicates. No, I don't think so. I think Twitch drops are great, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's gonna bring back people who quit the game because of cheaters, or bugs, or lack of content, or bad content. I don't think the Twitch drop quite touches those issues. But yeah.
Another important.
Yeah, I'm actually more pissed about the duplicates than anything. No, you're not even wrong. I hate duplicates, man.
That is the trifecta of locations that you
How is BDSM on my mind right now? Because BDSM is one letter away from BDS. I'm watching BDS.
There's a couple of hatches that can be useful as well along the way. But
how much money did I make when I was in G2? Okay. Player earnings Siege. This is public, right? You Google Siege earnings, full screen, Pengu. Okay. Okay. When did we join D2? We joined D2 at Paris Major. Am I blind? Where is my Paris Major win? I saw it. I lost it. There. So 2018-08. Okay? So if you take, you know, this tournament and that tournament and that tournament and that tournament and that tournament, and not this tournament actually, this tournament, and you take 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 this tournament, and you take, not that. Actually, yes, this tournament, and not that. And this tournament, not that either, actually. This one, not that, because you're Valencia? I don't fucking know. Anyway, if you take those and you combine them together, that's how much money we made in G2. Plus salary, of course, which I can't disclose to you. Salt by year? Can you? Oh, fuck. You can. Wait, what was the other one? Age? Salt by age? What? Anyway.
You can control 2 out of those 3.
Yeah, we've made
a strong position to be able to
quick maths.
Because you can,
let's say 200k in T2. Quick maths. 230k each. Quick maths. I don't know if that's accurate. But let's say it is. And then we got pilot program money, which is like the skin sales of the Jaeger skin and the skins that we got. And then we got salary, which is like a couple grand a month. And then... Oh yeah, and then you get that number. Let's say we've made 300k, right? Then you gotta reduce the taxes, which is 56%. And now we've made $130k. Don't forget the taxes, dude, because they hit hard.
There's a pretty good chance you're gonna be able to kill them from one of the other angles.
Yeah, we pay like 40-something% plus social contributions, which is like it's like 52% each month. Because social contributions is like a bit as well. It's a lot. Like invite prize money, we got paid over 100k, and I think I got paid 130. So this could be complete bullshit. I think I got paid $113,000, 113k. I only got 46 or 50k after taxes. No joke. I was like, we're fucking balling. Not anymore. But we have free healthcare, free education. It's paid for, and we get paid to study. And if I break my legs and I gotta call an ambulance, I pay nothing for it. It comes here, it picks me up. They give me a robotic leg. I'm gonna be superhuman, and it's free. Easy. We pay it via taxes, kind of free. I would rather do that than break my leg and go 50k in debt, though. Honestly, I would rather. You know, you slip, you break your hip. In America, you call the ambulance. They're like, yo, oh, you broke your hip. Oh, you have, 50k? We don't pick you up. We drive. Oh, we keep going, dude. Later, bitch. You know? Or you lay there with your broken hip on the asphalt. You're like, all right, take my money. ambulance driver, and then like they drive to the hospital, and then they fuck it up because they don't know what the fuck they're doing anyway, probably. And then you come back with 2 hips. Like they gave you 2 hips. You have 4 basically, right? And now you can't walk anymore, but you paid 50K for it. That's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Now basically you pay a lot of money in America to get fixed up. In Europe, most of Europe, it's free, or most of it is free at least, because it's paid for your taxes.
To try and go for that.
So yeah.
And you're seeing this being set up now around the kitchen. They've got the sledge upstairs, which you're very used to seeing, opening up a lot of the
Pay a monthly health care bill and it costs them 0.
Cut off any of the rotations that might come through this hallway that sits between the 2 sites. Very standard stuff.
Tags are great, dude. Tags are great. They are. That's how you look at it. Like, I'm a young, healthy, non-educating adult. I don't really get much out of my taxes, personally. I don't. But I'm basically paying the way forward for less fortunate people. It's almost like a fucking charity, right? I make a lot of money, I pay a lot of taxes, and then some guy who don't make a lot of money, he will get the same benefits I do because I paid it for him, kind of, right? And I could be, you know, I was raised kind of poor, and I was put into a good potential future by my education for free because of taxes, which is great. Not great now because I pay a lot of taxes, but it was great when I wasn't, you know.
Massively surprised. Vitality has taken it one step at a time.
I don't need it, they do. I'm helping out. That's how I see it, honestly. Makes it a little bit easier to grasp the 56%, you know, if you look at it that way. It does make it easier. Anyhow, another basement attack. When she opened MP5K on the 1 what a crime. And a pretty solid defense to start out from BDS. A little bit better crossfire and understanding of the map dynamics here than Vitality showed. And it shows because the 5v through. Okay. Listen, Shanko might be feeling it. It's 5v2. You don't peek this, okay? This, no. Nay. Nay. This, bad. Bad, okay? Don't do that.
Although Vitality, they are seriously losing numbers here on this attack. They are down.
Oh, that was great. Great defense all around. Also, that you don't do either. But whatever. Fucking snake, dude. Yeah, I think Shago trusted the G2 skin, dude. I'm gonna swing! Ah!
And boy, is he. He steps up when they need that momentum shift. He knows how to find the kills.
Shoving his hands, it's like it's over.
Slithers his way under that wall like a snake there to get that final couple of shots down on towards main stairs. Beautiful stuff, and that'll be them pulling themselves into.
You can see the program that records their face cams on his left-hand side monitor. Looks like face cams.
The lead for the first time in this matchup. That's 3 rounds on the.
Seeing the face cams are funny, yeah. And I wonder. I like face cams. It makes the online viewing way better. We should always have it.
Really good defensive in the first half. The extension game they were playing, wasting a lot of time for BDS.
Lem's just an iconic player. He's been there since year 1 and still has so much passion. Yeah. And Lem's just always been full of passion. I think it's like his secret weapon because we spoke about going from Aruni to Maestro. They do the opposite. Maybe Aruni's just that good, dude. Honestly.
So what?
Yeah, Elemish had a lot of passion, but Elemish also hasn't seen a lot of success, right? So when Elemish and the BDS era kind of came around, I think someone like an old veteran like Elemish who's been struggling in a team like Secret previously, you know, falling short a lot of times. You know, Elemish went from a guy being like Challenge League meme team, you know, a Challenge League team beating pro league teams, to being a world-renowned top European player in a top European roster. That screams passion. And if you see someone like myself or Fabian or Goga, you're not really gonna get a higher high than what we've been already. So it's not, I guess the passion isn't the same, you know? The one thing that Fabian, Goga and I had, we never saw the dark. We never got relegated. We never placed last. Like we haven't even had a bad pro league season ever, I don't think. We've always been top 4, like ever, I swear to God. Like we've never seen the lows of the low. Like we've never needed passion, like oh my god we're back, you know? We've always been there. We just either we didn't win or we got really close to winning. Like, it was never like doomed for us. Yeah, Brit being picked up by BDS was criminal. It was criminal. When that happened, I sat down, I was like fuck. I literally sat out, I was like fuck. Brit joining BDS? You gotta be fucking kidding me, dude. I was like, this is gonna be such a good team now, and we're gonna have to fucking struggle against them because they're so fucking good. It was so free before BDS, you know? If BDS wasn't there, like if they were like a bottom tier team when they had like RXWD because they were a bottom tier team, it would have been so much easier to win. Like, this is probably the most stacked roster outside of like D2, you know, like being like Citizen, Virtue, Uno, Kenzo, and myself. BDS is probably the most stacked roster with like both names, Brit, Shaiko, and Limsh. Obviously, Raphael and Renshiro, they are not Shaiko or Pengu level names, but don't get me wrong, Renshiro and Raphael are legends in their own respective ways from back in the day. Raphael back on Vitality with the old Bibo squad, and Renshiro, the Blackbeard bitch, as I also was. TSM is the most stacked team in the world? Wrong. Wrong? Wrong. What's, how is TSM the most stacked team in the world? They have Bolo, Merc, what? My brain? Shala, Pojo and Coach, and Geo. Geo, known for being an EG and choking every single tournament, never winning. Bolo getting his first victory recently, that was massive. Right? Up and coming, obviously star player for sure, don't get me wrong. Achieved, never won anything big. Pojo, always falling short, got kicked from a couple rosters. Now demoted to coach. Like, I love the players. I'm not trash on them, but like, if you look at it, they're not the most stacked roster. I love the guys. They're some of my favorite people to watch and talk to. Don't get me wrong. But they're not a stacked roster. They have potential to be a stacked roster, and they've been grinding trophies, and they're fucking owning. They're playing a great amount of Siege. I love watching TSM play. I love how they approach the game, right? Don't get me wrong. But they haven't really done much with the player. Like, the players haven't done much. If Bolo wasn't a big streamer YouTuber, Bolo would be a worse Shaiko. Like a good player who hasn't won anything. Like, Shaiko's won stuff, right? But yeah. TSM is probably the best team in North America, and they're probably top 4 in the world or top 6 in the world, by like definitely. But they need to get through that last huddle and actually achieve these things together. Accomplishments aren't what make a roster stacked, though. Okay, why is Brit amazing? Because his accomplishments as a player, what he's done, what he's capable of, right? When Chala got picked up by TSM, everyone was flaming Chala as like a bad idea, a bad pickup. He wasn't going to do anything. He had to prove them wrong. That means that's the opposite of a stacked team. If TSM was stacked, why did Chala have to prove himself? Why did everyone doubt him if he's stacked? When Merc had a bad season and everyone lost their minds, calling him a bad player and he should retire and step down and get kicked, it's not a stacked roster if there's so many doubts all the time, right? Come on. Like, I love the players. I love the team. Yada ding dong. But TSM isn't stacked. Maybe they're stacked because they're TSM. Like, the org is stacked, you know? But if you look at it for what it is, they're slightly above average, in my opinion. But I think the difference is they have the potential to be so much more. And that's what we're seeing. And that's what they've been developing over time. I think Darkseal looks stacked. I think NTR, Hyper, Kids guys, I think BC Code, I think they're stacked, if anything. But they're doing worse than TSM is. So how much does stacked teams matter? I mean, look at D2. Great super team, right? Didn't win shit in a year. Being stacked will only get you so far. It's about the work ethic, the effort. Everyone has potential. You know, if you're silver and you want to go pro, you have potential. It might not be a lot of potential, but you have potential. Right? It's like when someone's mom or dad says, "Oh, but honey, you're special." It's like, no, you're fucking not. You're another shit kid who's doing shit kid things like every other shit kid. You're not fucking special. You have potential. Yes, everyone has potential. No shit. Like, that's the raw, honest, brutal picture. Because everyone's parent says they're special, right? Everyone. But if everyone is special, it's you know, are they really special at all? Like, honestly? If everyone's special, doesn't that just mean everyone's the same? Which is like normal or average or, you know? No one is special, everyone's special. That's how I see it. But no, I think TSM has potential. I mean that in a good way. I think they have capabilities of getting really good highs. Especially since they're North America. They have less competition to get slaughtered by. And hopefully more time to develop, you know, to go international for real. Whereas like a team like Vitality being in Europe, they're gonna get slapped about domestically and then they might get slapped about internationally. TSM must want time to build up some confidence and a name for themselves domestically. A very nice smoke grenade lead, actually. I will say that was naughty. Oh, Brit using the smoke disadvantage, but no. Oh. Oh! And this is why Brit is so fucking good. Look at this shit. Man says no and fuck no, and he gets them both. It's beautiful. This is why BDS is a stacked roster. Okay. Stacked, boys. Oh lordy, oh lordy, no, the cover is missing. Oh bless, bless. Real quick, Jesus Christ, what is this plant position? Man walks in with 10 seconds left, starts planting here with not a single teammate nearby.
He needs to survive. He's walking around. Can he find one? Shots will hit. Finds two. He's got two. He's got the diffuser down. Surely gonna
Thank God, dude. That would have been such a tilter.
Celebrating unbelievable scenes from Team Vitality to close out the round.
That would have been a huge round if that wanted to go. Huge. Where should they have planted? I mean, look at it, dude. Look at this. What do you mean where? Man can literally walk into server. Man can walk in and plant default, right? No one's stopping him. There's no holes in the wall. There's nothing. His teammates are in server. Look, that's one. That's... I guess they're both on this side. Man is planting here. Man doesn't even have to plant. He's got 10 seconds left.
He needs to survive. He's crouch walk.
Anyhow. Bit risky. Bit close, yeah?
Well, I don't think BDS expected.
I started playing Siege in the last year, and I hear and see all these stories from back in the day, and I feel like I've missed the golden era of Siege. I think you're right. I think 2018, 2019 was the era of Siege, like the golden era. For now, like the golden era is kind of like what we call the peak of something, right? And a peak is continuous, right? You don't have a scenario where, like, you know, this is like the peak and then it never gets seen again. A peak is often just a matter of, you know, how much time goes by before you break it again, you know? There's always going to be new highs and new peaks. And speaking of new peaks, who would have thought that we would break a world record of highest peak players in Siege in 2021? After having a terrible year and a half almost, performance, who would have thought that we would break a new record? The previous record was set in March of 2020 at 198k. We broke 199.83 today, a few hours ago. So as I say, the peak is constant. The peak is always there. It's just a matter of how much time has to go by to see the peak again. You know? It's just a matter of time. So, like, sure, you might have missed the golden era of Siege. You know, 2018 rivalry between Penta and EG. 2018 comeback from CO2 to 3-2. Invitationals 19, longest match in history between D2 and Empire. You might have missed a lot of stuff that was golden era potential, right? But the thing is, one day there's going to be new teams and new names making even bigger highs and bigger peaks. For now, yes, these are the highs of the highs. And you'll never see those for real again. Like that specific instance of it. But there is a very high chance that you're gonna see something else in the future that's gonna involve different people in that new high. One day.
I'm feeling another overtime might be on the cards here, Ace.
Oh, Des, my heart goes out to
So far,
my heart goes
2018, 2019, to a lot of people, myself included, was the golden era. The best gameplay, the best meta game, the best rivalry, the best stories, a lot of up-and-coming players, casters, teams, orcs. A lot of growth, a lot of hype, a lot of new stuff, right? A lot of shininess.
I'd love to see the remaining time. I was far too excited into that round, as you probably heard.
We don't have that anymore. We don't. Casters are pretty solidified on the top, at least in North America and stuff. Like Kicks and Terror, like their casters. We have their teams, the orcs. Now we're just getting more and more. Like we're getting more skins from big orcs. We're getting more big orcs, you know? When the scene first got their first big orc, everybody was hyped the fuck out. Like, oh my god, Liquid, FaZe, G2, GSM, wow. You know, we came from nothing. Now we're just getting more and more and more, you know. It's just more of the same good stuff. We're not breaking any barriers.
It is really hard to call. I'm pleasantly quite surprised. It is this French derby that we're now seeing, as Vitality, as we all know, is now changing to being a full French lineup. They are impressing. I thought we might.
I'm sure there'll be a new dynasty. A new team.
Really
one day.
Things out. Maybe for Train Hard earlier, it was down to the map.
I fucking love what I'm seeing here. A full rush with no info, and they don't go gym to plant. They take the big dick way in to walk into master bedroom, maybe even clear office, and they're taking map control. This is the best kind of rush there is. The worst rush, if you rush into hold F, you're gonna die. Beautiful.
But this one being a bit more familiar might help. It's a rush coming through. Vitality is straight in. They've lost out 2. They've lost out 3. There's even a knife somewhere plunged into Rise's back from Renshiro.
What happened? It was so good. It was so good.
I thought we might see them go.
They didn't get anything from that. They got a single kill. They got 1 kill.
Maybe for Train Hard earlier, it was down to the map, but this one being a bit more.
First of all, who the fuck shoots the default cam in a rush? Does it, like, they can't even, if you're on this camera, and you die, like, it doesn't matter, even if it doesn't matter, right? First of all. Second of all, yikes. Third of all, Breed's insane, gets traded by people, really good. But Bebo gets traded back. Oh, he's alive. Rashir gets knifed. Or Rashir knifed. I don't know. I guess that was Rise was injured in the office. And Shinka is still outside the building. 10 points is 10 points? That is heartbreaking, man. Like, I won't even lie. Him losing that, like, half second because he stopped sprinting to shoot the default cam. First of all, it gave the defender sound that Ash is close. Right? Because you hear the gun shoot. It slows down the entry rush on the guy in office, and the guy turns around. Him not shooting a default cam could have, honestly, I'm not even kidding, it could have made the difference between that office guy dying and surviving. I'm not even kidding. Like, it's crazy. As simple as it might seem, that's massive.
To be looking back on after this, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a rush. We've seen them work successfully.
It was a good rush.
But at 4-all, this game is on a knife's
good call.
And 1 round could be the difference.
Terrible execution.
Either getting yourself into overtime and guaranteeing 1 point, or potentially even taking the whole thing. Vitality, it's nice to see the confidence coming out of them to just dash in there and try to take and win those gunfights.
About this,
they were more than ready for it, and they were able.
What's
to
the word
shut it
when
down
something's
in
healthy?
Fashion, and it could be one
it's
of
called
those
bio,
rounds
like B-I-O in like
maybe
EU.
That's a decision we shouldn't have taken.
It's like when it's like
it's one of those,
no pesticides, healthy shit, you know?
Be kicking themselves if it does come to the end of the game and they're like, oh, that one rush round. If only the penny
it's called ecologisk in Danish.
But these are the kind
or it's
of
organic?
Oh,
it's organic. It's called bio here. It's called ecologisk in Danish. Organic.
Really go too much crazier.
I started eating some organic food. It's actually kind of good.
It happens.
Like, this thing that he's like
5 and 4. Let's see how the
superfood cranberry kogus with chia seeds.
It's always much easier for us to say.
It's good. I like it.
Isn't it
It's not disgusting like I thought it would be. I want to share it with you guys. I'm an old man, retired, you know, eating healthy because I'm gonna get a dad bod otherwise. Started working out more. Getting gains. In 4 months, we're gonna get a progress picture. And I can't even fit the frame. I gotta get like my big lens out because I gotta be far away. I'm gonna be wide as fuck. It's gonna be great. Embrace the dad bod? Hell no. No, now that I'm retired, I have new goals, dude. I wanna get a nice, I wanna get lean. Right? I wanna grow out of my fucking 12-year-old boy body for sure. And I wanna get into photography more like I have been. Those are my 2021 goals. I got a trip possibly for Hawaii later this year in summer, peak time. I gotta get beach ready for the photos.
They did exactly the same last time, but then just dipped away from it and allowed Shaiko to play from there. And I can understand.
Cranium's working out from home because gyms are closed down still. Working with limited tools, but we are working out. That's all that matters. 2021 goals. How about going outside? COVID, my guy.
He's going to be even more deadly.
I don't think going outside should be anyone's goal right now.
Spot, I think. There's a few places on a number of maps. For example,
my arm needs strength to hold that giant lens up. The lens isn't that heavy actually. It's hard to believe, but my biggest lens compared to my smallest, it's less than it's like a third of the weight difference, or like it's less than double. Like it's not that bad actually.
You know that you need to deal with them. You know
it's not that bad.
Predictable about them, and we spoke.
It looks bad, but it's not that bad.
About the predictability it creates a BDS sometimes. There isn't a lot of variety.
How tall am I? 6 feet.
I'm curious to see how this plays out, given they have the
average height, 182 centimeters, 83.
Space to be able to support someone. It's not just being picked up for the sake of it. They want to be here for him to be able to give someone.
Only got outside to shop and to work. Nothing to do in Germany. Yeah, everything's closed. Ryan and I went to a trip to the East Side Gallery on the Berlin Wall, and we walked into a restaurant. Like, we're like, oh, we can go inside and get heated up because it's cold and get food. We open the door, we just walk in, and they're full out, like, renovating the ceiling and, like, the floors. And I'm like, and they look at us. I'm like, food? And they're like, COVID. I'm like, fuck, dude, I forgot COVID existed. And we could get takeaways. We got takeaway in the fucking cold. It was so cold, right? And that's where the photos on... I showed them on Twitter. Camera stuff, photos, Berlin Wall. Yeah, it's where we got these. So these are quesadillas. Oh no, it's more like it's a flip pan. It's quesadillas with chorizo, like spicy sausage. And we got churros, right? Takeaway in these small boxes. They're great. Churros. Yeah. This was like insane. This was so good. Like the chorizo sausage, mwah, so good. It was a German menu card, and the only word I recognized was the chorizo sausage. I was like, that one. It was like a taco with us. P4, dude. He's got Shaiko's number this game, and Shaiko again, look at the setup here. There is no one playing in blue. Shaiko is the blue player. Everyone's behind him. This is a very greedy gunfight to take. It's 5-4 scoreline, 5 versus 5, 1 minute 15 left. Getting taken out here. It's a high cost. It's a high price to pay. Shaiko's making the same mistake all game through so far. It's a bit of a shame here. Obviously, if you killed Ayash there, there's a massive reward as well, but you are on the advantage of defense. You don't need to be lashing out. Vitality's in a shit position, and now the refrag comes in. Back and back we go. Raphael being very boss in position, not even prone to take defeat. And gets taken out. Imagine if Shaq was alive now, that'd be nice. Every smoke player's worst nightmare. 1v3, bomb is going down. Probably no info to help him. SMG 11 in hand. Difficult task here. Oh. What is a smoke glitch? I think it's the NVIDIA drivers I read about on Twitter. Like it boxed out like the visuals, the particles.
Guesses that there might be somebody sitting in the plant spot.
Looks funky.
See if he can flush them out with another Toxic Babe canister.
Vitality pin is quite well. They're vibing, no one's peeking, no one's over aggressive. They have somewhat crossfire, hatch, and moto.
So he's thinking about the switch to the shotgun. We know it can be deadly in this area, but at the first challenge, shot down from the hatch. Cactus
only happens on Vulcan API? I've never seen it. I only play Vulcan.
There's only going to be one opportunity.
I also don't have. I haven't updated my drivers, so it could be bad.
Like I say, I was really keen to see
it's Brit though, he usually wins those. Brit is really good at winning clutches, but only when it's like allowed. If Vitality plays like that, doesn't matter who you are, you're not gonna win.
Inside of Moto, you are right though. It does
like it is absolutely impossible to win.
We said maybe we're going to see a second overtime of the night. It's starting to feel that way. It's getting dangerously close here. Where if unless a team can bring the next 2 rounds back to back and bearing in mind,
isn't it better to play more passive and waste time?
We haven't seen it the last
in what scenario?
Prior to that, rounds 5 and 6 were won by BDS on the attack. Outside of that, it's only Vitality in the first 2 rounds of the entire map that were back to back.
It takes teamwork from your team and mistakes from someone to win that. Yeah, I mean almost every single clutch in the world, right? Almost every single clutch. Sure, you need to play it well and you need to hit good shots, right? But the enemy has to make a mistake. Like if you're 2 versus 1, like you're the guy that's 1 versus 2. Sorry, you should never win at 1 versus 2. Never. Like in theory, you should never, because as long as the 2 guys can set up like the perfect crossfire, which always exists, by the way, you should never win. But it often gets lost, especially in Siege. Like there are more, you know, less experienced players, and the game is very complex. There's a lot of things to consider. It's not like Counter-Strike, where it's a lot more simple.
A little bit different this time. I don't think they can get away with the same thing again.
No.
No, I don't think so, Milk. I don't think there's any benefit in anyone being on console in Siege. Like, content gets less viewership, and so does, there's no Pro League future. And regardless, I mean, you pretty much need to go into PC at some point if you want to maximize your career. What's the point of Omai? Would you ever take him over Jaeger, or just an addition to Jaeger? I personally think Omai is better than Jaeger on some sides. It's more flexible, it's less risk, you can move them around and throw the disc mid-round. Whereas in Jaeger, you typically put them down in prep phase, and then the ADSs are where they are, you know? Omai is most often used as an addition to Jaeger, so you play both. This doubles up on your ability to enforce a single position. He is rarely played instead of Jaeger, right? Most teams play him to complement Jaeger. Omai is what I would call an underrated operator. You can still move them though, it's highly risky. It's highly, like let's say you put like Jaeger ADSs in Catwalk on the CCTV defense, and the breach is open. You can't relocate those ADSs. But you can throw Omai Magnus all the way from server breach into Garage Catwalk. You can easily, with no issues, consistently. Same with blue. Once those ADSs are down in blue, picking them back up and running around when they're holding angles, it's risky. Right?
Allow the drones to get down and just feed some information.
You can rotate them, especially on a map like Villa. On Villa, it's quite easy to be honest. But on maps like Clubhouse that are more breach oriented, once something is open, it's hard to move around.
That we saw coming out of Vitality when they had 2 or 3 members looking to push off site, wasting 2.5 minutes, but having the composure to get back to site before
bandit tricking, interesting.
BDS are just happy to play their default static position.
So you can't actually bandit trick this against Thatcher and Ace. It's not possible. You EMP this, and you ace left wall, and you ace right wall, and one of them will go off guaranteed. And Omai has impacts, which means you can't firm at the wall, nor can you put Selmas like up top, but feed holes you can make.
You want to come and try and wrestle control
no issue.
Have all the time in the world to try and do that.
Kitchen Edge open. What we got left on Hard Breach is we have 2 Selmas left, which means if I was Vitality, I would actually breach Church just for pressure and then go for a kitchen attack. That way you're kind of keeping them guessing, because right now it's very obviously a kitchen attack, right? At the moment. But that could very easily shift. So if you open up Church and get that pressure, that could be very nice. You can also open up back B, and you can do the plant and back B. There is this one spot you can plant in that very few, like here, right here. We call this the pillar wall. This pillar right here blocks C4s, and it blocks the angle in dirt with the bomb as well. So if you open up this wall right here with like a Sophia, or if you're ballsy, a Sledge, you know, a Buck Vertical, an Ash Touch, whatever the case might be, you run into the hallway, you plant right here, no one can kill you. Literally no one. It's really, really hard to C4 you. etc. That's also an option. It is soft, and this guy's holding the hatch, so hatch can be risky. Has anyone coming to play ever thrown a nade back? Well, you can't throw nades back for a long time. They patched that like 3 years ago. But there was this one instance of Wilkie was hiding in a small room on Chalet, and he like somebody threw a nade in, and then the nade just came bouncing back out. It was kind of funny. Shaiko again, overly aggressive peaks main stairs. Gets the kill, but imagine that Shaiko had died here like he did last time. Really risky, like super high risk, pretty average reward, you know. But hey, you do kill the ace with smokes. Pretty good, not gonna lie. But if he had died there, that would have been terrible. Back B did get opened, not the one I wanted. I wanted it here, but regardless. So it's gonna be a kitchen execute with Brit flanking blue as the wild card. What you can do is you can open up the blue hatch and hot drop the hatch and peek the guy AKs or dirt if there's a guy there and try and create some chaos, but you will die eventually. So Brit is purely playing for the chaos. And the chaos gets shut down, and now is where the attack falls apart. The first guy to die is basically the guy, oh, it's Bebo actually, not Brit. Is actually the guy that's flanking. That's terrible, right? Now, all eyes on the front end push. You're gonna get smoked. There's crossfire, soft walls, holes. It's a bit of a nightmare. And you have nowhere safe to plant. Again, had you breached the hallway angle on your close right here from P4's point of view, you could actually be planting right now. This pillar blocks this guy's angle, and the bomb blocks the dirt guy's angle, and you're safe. Then you can have one guy bottom main holding long, and this guy can hold dirt AKs from top on the hatch. And all of a sudden, you're actually solid. That's basically what they're doing. Shinka's holding hallway, but they're also reinforced, and then top floor hatch holding AKs and dirt. But yeah. Wrong priorities. You need a guy main stairs regardless, because they can flank main stairs through your own rotate, and then you get flanked, right? So you don't want to have one guy drop, one guy hatch, one guy main stairs, one guy hatch, if anything. And you don't want to have one, or you can even have the guy in kitchen hatch drop, and then the guy main stairs will go back up to hold the post plant, because this guy could have flanked. Yeah. Thank you, James C. Love the video on consulate defense. I'm gonna do more of those. Probably? I think so. I don't know. I could be uploading more normal strats. Like basic, I thought about making like a basic rank strat, like videos on TikTok, on YouTube, and it would be like, you know, ideally I would make one for every bomb site for every map in ranked, and it would be basic, so like pretty generic, pretty common, nothing out of the ordinary. And then I would make like an advanced series, which is what the consulate one was, which is way more advanced.
Diffuser down usually in behind the rack in there, and it's not an often used spot, but it can be used from time to time. And this time BDS read into that perfectly. As soon as that had been opened up by P4, they knew exactly what was coming. They pushed a man up into Moto, which is a great place to defend that spot from, because normally
can you double check that?
The attackers are going to try to come down the stairs. They're going to rush straight underneath the default camera and try to turn left and into Armory. So by having a man in Moto, they were well prepared for it. And then also that shot from Shaiko, just knew there was going to be somebody at the bottom of main stairs and just popped.
He's a basic advanced. Yeah, I would like to make basic and advanced, because I want to cater to like casual fan base, but I also want to cater to like the people that, you know, are higher level. I think my next video is gonna be a top 3 things that every Siege player should know, and then I want to make a video on how to counter Nomad and Claymores, because there's a bunch of different ways to work around it, especially Nomad. Like Nomad is broken, at least last patch. I don't know if they changed it, but last patch Nomad air jabs were fucking flawed, dude. Like they did not work. We could say just wasn't really the right combo for them, despite it working overall with Easy Dream previous to that. The day you made the constant strat, I go to play ranked and I saw it straight away. That's crazy. There's a whole season we need to really see these players. Yeah, it got a lot of attraction. It was nice. Start forming any solid judgments.
Push coming from the east side potentially again. We are looking at gym and bedroom, of course. So we've seen already. They're not playing Frost Boys, they're playing the Goyo. We spoke about this earlier. You can supplement it with a Goyo to get more shields. Or the Maestro. Maestro hasn't seen any any play today on either map. It's a bit of a shame. We've all spent on Consulate though, to be fair. EMP firma charge, regular server take. Itachi EMP will come in and disable that for
nothing out of the ordinary.
time, allowing the Thermite of Bibu to get the
We're kidding about the NA qualifiers of CL? Yeah, I'm not even in NA. I can't even play it. You only play NA qualifiers if you're in North America. I'm in Europe. Always memeing. Same setup as Vitality was running on defense. Shield and Red Hall, complemented with ADSs, EMP above. You know, gonna clear that. It's kind of nice. Like, this is kind of a small thing, but having it is behind the wall to catch it, it's harder to drone that there's ADSs here. It's kind of cool. Like, small thing, but it's kind of cool. Raphael playing very, very alone. Has a way back. Okay, okay. Normally, that's where the garage angle would punish you if you were to cross. Maybe he got the timing on Cactus because he should never be able to cross for free like that. Construction window not even opened either. So he could have had backup or help from construction. That's a bit of a mistake, but hey. Doesn't get punished. Half-round is over. Already used some flashbangs, some thermite breaches. Only one EMP left, actually. So, Mirror connector, how do we deal with it? Do we go vertical in kitchen? Do we go office hatch? Do we go around to the jacuzzi breach and go window execute? What do we do now? Because we've already committed so far, so deep, and we spent so many resources, it would be a shame if we can't progress any further with all the effort, right? I don't... That's an interesting answer. You breach the metal wall, which the mirror window just helps even further, right? Interesting. And this kind of where BDS's experience and potential comes in, because they're just able to play so heavily off the frag game, if anything. So the jacuzzi is completely closed. Mirror window holding down connector. Windows are always a bad idea. And as I say that, Raphael gets found in a weird corner off his head. Probably playing sound and not getting much from it. P4 not seeing Shaco. Getting glitch. Oh, dude. I think it was an accidental. I think he was smoking to connect the door. But the fucking... It's hitting P4 outside. That is... dude, that sucks, man. That sucks. That's the worst. It's like match point 6-5, like 3-4. You get fucking glitch mode to half health. You're pissed. You're absolutely pissed. Like Baton. Oh my god, dude. The Shaco versus P4 battle goes on and Shaco's bringing it back. He was losing most gunfights earlier on, but not in the later half here. I don't think it matters much though, because we're not going to drag it out any longer. I believe that Shaco gets the 4th. And just like that, 7-5 for BDS. A bit sloppy, right? A bit sloppy. A few rounds, like BDS, like there's like they couldn't breach. The lack of crossfire. But generally speaking, pretty happy with Vitality's play. A little bit of lack of problem solving, like dying in like weird positions, like the office hatch and whatnot. But yeah, Lem's face cam, yeah, Lem's just like bang bang. Yeah. No one else really gives a fuck, but Lem loves it.
I think Lem is very, very emphatic about that.
It looks almost more like, that's a cute cup. What the hell? That's a cute ass cup.
A victory there as well, animated to the camera. It's what we've missed all this.
That's a nice cup.
Time you love to see it, but it was one of those.
It feels like, you know, these 4 guys are like, ah, fuck, dude, we could have done so much better. And Lem's just like, fucking won, dude.
Vitality at the start.
You know?
I thought there was something coming in this game. They were running the clock down.
15, 11, 9, 6, and 4 to 8, 8, 10, 8, 5. Now, it is a bit impressive that Shaco managed to go in 15 and 8 because he had a really rough first like 3 or 4 rounds and had a really hard time on ace and adjusting to the operator bands or whatnot. Like they had like the wrong rotations, the ace was in the wrong position. He was peeking the 1v1s and losing them, and peeking them to begin was kind of like absurd, but he did the same thing towards the last end, but actually won the gunfights. He was drinking yerba mate. I don't know what that is, dude. I have no idea what that is. Yerba derba. Yerba derba. Oh god. Interesting. Element just won SI. Lemish won SI, but his teammates just won a regular Pro League game that he barely won. That's the difference right there. Very, very different. When are they implementing the change of Goyo that you can control drones after you're dead? So all of those things that were mentioned are all across year 6. So if you have a whole year, stretched full of content, those things are going to be happening throughout the year. They're not happening this very season. So yeah, I have to wait and see. Now, as you guys know, I can't co-stream. I can't co-stream the Pro League games, unfortunately. I might do more VOD reviews. I'm not a huge fan of it. I love the fucking hype and the energy that casters bring from a live broadcast and, no one knowing the outcomes and whatnot. But I might still watch like 1 or 2 games from Europe and North America each week as time goes on. I still think that could be fun. It also means that I get to watch them because I didn't have time to watch neither the BDS game that we just saw or the G2 game previously earlier. And especially with North America, because North America happens so late in Europe, I'm not awake when they play usually, right? So if I can review the games in North America, that'd be sick, because I can't watch otherwise. When I do APAC games sometimes, unlikely. I think maybe if there's like a super crazy APAC game or a super crazy LATAM game, maybe I'll do LATAM or APAC. But I just don't know the players. I don't know the meta game. And I don't think there's much to do than just like watch the game. I definitely prefer to watch North America or Europe. So I had to wait till 3 a.m. to watch the G2 game. Talk about being late. Oh, man. That is wild. Yeah, I would never. I would never. Never would I ever. On judging you shown as a clubhouse plant spot? Yeah. No, I mean, the fun thing about watching with chat is that chat can be like, yo, Pengu, why do people no longer make a rotate hole on catwalk, It's those small things that it doesn't really get talked about a lot, and you don't really see it in rank play either. So that happening in a forum where people can ask the question and it can get answered is quite nice. And chat can give their input as well. So how do I think the NA meta is different from Europe? It's not much different now. If anything, I think NA used to be less organized and less like strat heavy. And they had like better gunners but worse teams, if that makes sense. But then Dark Zero came around, a year and a half ago, whatever. And Dark Zero became like the strat team of North America. And I feel like ever since then, I think Dark Zero has done a really good job at pushing North America forward in a strategical fashion. And nowadays, there's not much difference. Like some regions will do things slightly different. But I think overall, I think it's pretty linear these days. Mary's asked, how's my health after leaving the Pro League and how comfortable do I feel? In a way, it's nice. I got a tattoo like yesterday. That's healing. It's a bit sore. It's nice having my own work schedule, and I have so much more time every day to like cook, clean, work out, spend time with Rai, whichever. But it also feels more scary that I don't have like a stable income anymore. Like I don't just wake up and get paid money for being in Pro League. I gotta wake up and put in the hours on stream. Thank you, Miss Austria, for the sub. Appreciate it. I gotta put in the hours with content. I gotta make actual good content now. I can't just live off Pro League salary and just slack on my content. It's been a very big change of scenery for sure. And now I might move maybe this year, depending on what works out contract wise. So yeah, that's just a lot going on. What I want in the perfect world is in 5 months from now, I want to know where I'm gonna live and who I'm gonna work with and who I'm gonna work for, and have like in my own like studio where I can create content. Like I wanna, when I move, or if I move, I wanna build my office in a way that allows me to make YouTube content and Twitch streams better, like more creative freedom, more resources. Because right now I'm so limited. Like I want to get a bunch of different stuff set up, but I can't bother to do it now. And then like if I move to America, for example, I have EU plugs in North America. Then I need adapters and there's shit and So honestly, right now I'm just kind of holding on the horses to figure out where I'm gonna do. And then when I know where I'm gonna live long term, if it's in Berlin or not, I'm gonna pull the plug and try and make some great content. For now, we're just building the brand, making YouTube videos, TikTok videos, streaming rank, trying to do the VOD reviews. Even though I suck at it, I think it's fun. I want to do coach streaming because I think I'm actually decent at that. I prefer that way more. And yeah, a few things. What did someone say? Thank you, Kyle, by the way. Where I can make a setup video? Yeah, I mean, I would. I can't make a setup video right now because I'm with D2 and I'm not using D2 sponsors gear right now. Like I have like my custom keyboard and stuff that everyone knows, but I can't show those off in a video. So right now I can't really make a setup video because I can't show off like my camera. I can't show off like my keyboard. I can't show off like my mouse mat and stuff, my monitors. So can't really do the setup video right now. But before I leave this place, if I do end up leaving, I'm gonna make both an apartment tour and a setup tour video, and then I'll make another one whenever I move to that new place. And I want to keep those videos kind of like as memories, as like, you know, where we've been, what it looked like, and how far we've gotten. So yeah, I don't know, we'll see. Already dwelled into the world of cameras and photography, and I started vlogging a bit, and I've had a lot of fun with that, to be honest. I didn't think I would. I was very like intimidated by it, but I had a lot of fun with it. And I got 2 new videos that I want to work on that are siege related. I just need to do all the content for it. There's a bit of footage that I gotta grab. No, I'm not sponsored by Logitech. It's G2 Manrich. All of G2 sponsors are my sponsors. That's, you just take them on as a player. You represent the org, right? If they both paid the same, would I only do Pro League or only content creation? If I think I would probably only do Pro League. The thing is, right? The reason why I'm not doing Pro League right now is because I can't do Pro League and streaming. I can only do one. And I feel like not reaching into content creation, which is like my long-term career, because Pro League is much more short-term, it's a bit of a shame. So I've chosen to step down, I mean, for many reasons. But if I could choose only streaming or only Pro League, I think I would always choose only Pro League. But the fact is, I'm a Pro League player who also streams, and that creates an issue, right? When do I scrim? When do I stream? Where's the energy for it? It's 2 different personas clashing massively. So, yeah. Put plane in ranked, no. Ever coming to India? I doubt. Unless there's an event there. I saw the raid, Raul, but he's not an English streamer. It's a bit awkward to host non-English streamers. Citizen is streaming more now? Yeah, because they have to. Like, we have in our contract, we need to stream X amount of hours every month. And when I left G2, my teammates will now need to stream those hours instead of me, because I carried them before, right? So yeah, you're probably gonna see more people in G2 stream now because they have to by their contractual obligation. Because when I was around, I would just do that for them. Because I stream over 100 hours a month, besides doing Pro League full time. Thought about getting a house? No. No, I'm not buying a house. Not only is real estate shit, like the market, but also it's so much upkeep for low value right now. When I move, you know, if I settle down maybe, but you're not really moving. You're not really settling down ever in esports, to be honest. Shafted my team. Hey, they're slacking before, dude. They could have just streamed when I was here, but they didn't. They were like, "Oh, Pengu's streaming, and we don't got it now." It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Will I finally use elite skins now I'm no longer in Pro League? No. I don't really give a shit about skins. I don't give a shit about what's the word? Like points on. Like I'm not gonna abuse skins and abuse glitches, and you know, I'm still gonna play without points. I'm still not gonna use skins. I'm still not gonna glitch smoke. I'm still not gonna bullet hole spawn peek people. I have too much honor, dude. I like playing the game in a high skill environment. And one day I can hope that other people feel the same way, because they aren't right now. Everyone's abusing everything. I don't abuse glitches. I like playing the game clean, and I like playing the game honest. And that's probably never gonna change. So, yeah. I think without further ado, boys, I think I gotta go. The plan is to cook up some nice dinner, go to the grocery store real quick and grab those dinner supplies, and then watch Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League. So, yeah. Yeah. Crazy thing. If you guys want to see more VOD reviews, do let me know. I'll definitely consider it, for sure. I don't think I'm the greatest at it, but maybe I can get better by doing so. But I'll definitely be watching some games sometimes, just because I can't watch, you know, every game possible. So might be doing more North American games than European games, just because of time zones and how they work out. But yeah, I'll do some more VOD reviews for now and just see where it goes. See, maybe I'll get better, maybe I'll learn to like it. But I definitely prefer the live, raw experience more, for sure. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow for Go 4. So 1 p.m. CET sharp, same starting time as today, basically. And yeah, we're gonna bang it out and go for it with our shit aim. And I'll see you then, boys. Take care. Peace out. No.